Hello, and welcome back to the 27th episode of the 71st Hour Podcast. I am your host, Seth. What?
Oh, I
What?
heard it.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say, "Welcome back to the 27th hour." It's like way off.
You're just way off.
You're gonna do what I did. Wait, what did I do that time? I did. Did I say the 20? What did I say? The something hour. 24th hour or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know
24th
what I
hour.
said.
24th hour, something like that. I am your
No,
host.
you know what I said? No, sorry. I'm gonna interrupt you again. I
Okay.
said the wrong episode number.
That's
Oh,
okay, I
true.
suppose.
You said like the one ahead or the one behind. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It was like we were like 10 episodes in. And I said like episode 12, and
yeah.
you're like, I don't think so. Anyway,
Yes,
intro this
no,
one.
I
Sorry, was so
am your
interrupting.
host, Ben. I'm joined by my fabulous, I'm trying to think of new words here, but fabulous co-host,
You
Jamie.
gotta go with illustrious. I'll do that
Illustrious,
next
the
week.
illustrious co-host, Jamie.
I'm actually,
and
I forgot what illustrious means.
yeah,
so.
it means like of high favor. I remember us looking it up.
Oh, that's
And
right,
our exquisite co-host, Nathan. There you go. That's a good one.
So I got fabulous, and he gets exquisite.
wrecked, bro.
I feel like they're not really on the same level.
Not
But
really, no. How you boys been?
Pretty good.
But let me put it this way: when I close my eyes at night, I see a top-down isometric view of a battlefield,
Yeah.
and I'm pointing and clicking in my dreams. I'm just
True.
Baldur's Gate.
I see bear
That's how I'm
sex
doing.
scenes. So just very different things there. But yeah, so I've already told you boys about this, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna move and do the hot fixes
Shifting,
first.
doing a bit of a shift.
We're doing a little bit of shift because the main topic is gonna be Baldur's Gate. There's a lot to talk about here. But yeah, so for hot fixes, you're gonna see a theme very quickly here, but we're gonna start off with one of the ones that I think is more of one to talk about, which is we finally got news on the Red Dead Redemption port. We finally got news
Yeah,
on it.
keyword being port.
Yeah, port. That's the key word. So
It's good timing on the video as well. How it's the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. It has now been confirmed that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be coming to the Nintendo Switch and PS4 on August 17th, with physical copies of the port being available on August 13th. Retailing at $49.99 USD, the releases are at the same time that Red Dead is available on the Nintendo platform while allowing the game to be played on the PS5 consoles through backwards compatibility. It includes the full single-player campaign, as well as the beloved Undead Nightmare Zombie DLC, but it does not include the multiplayer, which has already led to the questions of why the price tag exists. With these ports offering no graphical enhancements or 60 frames, a little disappointment on fans is justified while considering how fans were expecting a much larger project. The announcement of the ports is decidedly bittersweet.
Wait, I'm sorry. It doesn't get 60 on PS5?
No.
No, it's locked at 30.
Yeah, it's locked 30.
And the same thing is it's locked at 30 on Xbox Series X and S as well.
Oh, it is as
Like,
well?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So that's why
I-
that's why it's only 30. It's 30 on PS5. Oh yeah, because they'd be like, oh, Xbox players be like, oh, what the fuck? Why don't we get this port? That's
There's obviously
60.
more happening in the background than just
Yeah.
easily changing the frame rate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I honestly think they could.
They could.
I think they
They
could.
could.
I think
Absolutely.
they could absolutely just unlock it and it would run probably above 60. Honestly,
Yeah,
like at some moments. Man,
I-
wow! When I woke up to
this
this
is
news, I was
great.
like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. I remember last week we talked about this one. Like,
When-
this is it, boys.
When I
Red
when
Dead
I
1.
saw that it was going to PS4, I'm like, that has to be a typo. Like, it doesn't like it makes sense now they know it's back to PS5. But when I first saw that, could not understand why PS4.
It's so funny because the first thing I saw was like a tweet saying Red Dead Redemption is coming to Nintendo Switch, and I was like, "Oh, so they're porting Red Dead 1 to Switch, and then they're doing the remake." And I looked on the Rockstar Twitter, and it was like, "No, it's coming to PS4
No.
and Switch, and
Yep.
it's $50 US, and it is just there is no changes graphically. It's just an
yeah.
upscale. It's still 30 FPS,
It's
and it's just the games as they were in 2010." So
let me ask you, boys. Do you think $50 is too much?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
50 US dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
50
so it's
US,
70,
so it's 70 for us.
Australian dollars. Yes, yeah, it should be like half that price, honestly.
Especially with not having multiplayer with it as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so you're getting less game 13 years later for around the same price that it cost when it first came out.
yes.
Like
yes.
$10 cheaper after 13
Yeah.
years. It's just honestly on two different fronts this is like awful, right?
Yeah.
You've got like the value proposition is completely off because like you can get Red Dead 1 on Xbox One and Series X with that backwards compatibility for like half that price, even less sometimes when it's on sale. Although I imagine now that this is coming out, they're probably not going to bring it down in price as much. They're
Yeah.
going to keep it
Yeah.
in line. And you've also got the fact that it is just the game as it was in 2010, which is great for those people that haven't played the game. But no PC port,
No PC.
no graphical changes,
I'm so surprised.
no
there's PC
enhancements at
port.
all.
I'm so surprised. Even if it was just a port as well to PC. I feel like that would be like, okay, cool. At least it's on PC now, but
60
it's not even
FPS.
going to PC anymore. Yeah,
You
right.
know,
Not even going to PC.
it's not. So I think at this point we'll never see Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC.
No,
which is
definitely
no.
not.
This
so
was the
unfortunate.
opportunity. This was the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah, this was the
It's not
chance,
happening.
and it means we'll probably never get a remake of this game. It'll always
Yeah,
just
which
be.
sucks.
It's funny because like as I said last week, there was so many complaints about Last of Us being remade on PS5, but this game came out 3 years earlier, and everyone really wants a remake of it. But to be fair, I mean, playing Red Dead 1 with like the fidelity of Red Dead Redemption 2, like that would be incredible. But Rockstar's just gonna Rockstar, man. Like it's the same
Yeah.
with Nintendo. Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. Rockstar's gonna Rockstar. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it's so funny how insanely profitable both those companies are, but how insanely just off they are with so many decisions
Yeah.
they make, and it's like it's crazy. Like I'm really disappointed by this. Super disappointed.
I saw there was a bunch of people that was tweeting and on Reddit and whatnot. I bought this for $13. It was the PS3 and like the Xbox 360 disc for Red Dead that they were just going to use instead, right? And it was just like because what they would do is just buy a PS3 and do stuff like that. So it's just because exactly the same thing.
Well, that's the thing. Is with Xbox, you don't even have to buy an old console. You can just
Yeah,
buy the old
you
disc,
just
put it
buy
in
the
your new
old disc,
console, and the new console
works.
goes, "Oh, that's this game.
Exactly
Here, you can
right.
have
Yep.
it on the digital store."
Yep.
I do think
I-
it's cool. It's coming to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that
I
is
like
cool.
that. That is cool. I like that. But like I feel like that's like the only. I think that's diamond in the shit that we have right now. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
the
like
only good
that.
thing.
I would consider playing Red Dead 1 on Switch, pending, performance. You have to imagine it'll run.
Yeah, I would have thought that
Solid.
the Switch could have handled at least a somewhat remastery kind of look to this game, but
Yeah.
that's obviously not what they intended to do to begin with. So
I think I think the game is going to be 1080p on Switch on your screen.
yeah,
Damn. Okay.
Which is fine. That's I mean that's the max resolution that the console supports, so it makes sense. And then obviously 720p on the handheld, which
Yeah.
I think it'll run pretty
Pretty
solidly.
well.
I would hope,
I hope
so.
so.
Pending the port, depending on
Yeah.
how, because it's not Rockstar internally, it's a different port studio.
San Andreas Mobile.
Yeah, so it's not even that
Yeah.
it's not even that developer. Fortunately, I'd say they didn't have a mobile port of Red Dead 1 to grab, so they couldn't do it. I couldn't remember. They did a port recently, that company, and people were not happy because they. Let me see. It was like
Yeah.
they did a previous port
I
of
remember
another
reading-
game. That company, and I'll try. Just fill time. I'm just gonna look
Fill
for,
time.
for it.
What I was gonna say that it is cool that it has the zombie DLC as well. I do like how it has the zombie DLC with it. And
Yeah, I don't think they could have released it
Dude,
without it. To be
I'll
honest with
imagine
you.
if it was
Single player?
just. Dude, imagine this, right? They released the game for $50, single player campaign, no multiplayer, DLC for that port, $15 for the
no.
Undead Nightmare DLC. That DLC, by the way, is fantastic. Like,
Oh,
It's
it's a
great.
phenomenal DLC.
it's one of the
yeah.
best DLCs ever, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
so
but-
this developer, Double 11, did the Rust console edition, and
Oh,
people did not like
shit,
it.
no,
People
no,
did,
Rust
that's
is on
not a
console.
great.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
died
yeah.
pretty
There is
quickly.
there is a version of Rust on console.
Yeah,
So
it went down
looking
pretty
through
quickly.
their repertoire of games, they helped out with Fallout 76.
Okay.
They helped out with Minecraft Dungeons,
Okay.
Crackdown 3.
Okay.
Well, they
I
all
guess they-
run well. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
I'm
good
not
games.
sure
I mean,
what. Yeah, I
Crackdown,
guess they
no
were just a
Crackdown, but-
support studio for those.
Yeah.
Maybe they ported the Switch version of Minecraft Dungeons,
Mm.
possibly. They did Little Big Planet, PlayStation Vita, and they ported Limbo and a game called Songbringer. So I mean, I know some of these
Done
games.
a lot of work on the past, yeah. And
And
don't think they ran bad.
a lot of companies like Double 11 are just port studios. Like that's their whole kind of deal. Yeah, I don't know. I just it would be catastrophic if this port comes out and it runs bad.
Yeah.
And it's got any issues at all, really. Like,
Yeah, it needs to be a good
if
port.
it somehow like has more issues than the PS3 version of Red Dead Redemption, like that would be nuts. And honestly,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them, you know, because I just think
needs to be
Rockstar
a good port.
has when it's not a mainline GTA or Red Dead game, if it's just like a port or a remaster, the quality control is fucking dog shit. It's like
Yeah.
non-existent for their other games. Like,
Do you think this is gonna do well?
no.
No.
I honestly don't. I don't think it's gonna. I think they're just doing it to keep the other platforms in line. I think Switch will probably it'll sell a few copies on Switch. I mean, people will buy this on PS4, obviously, especially if you don't have an Xbox, and this is the only way that you can play this game again.
Yeah.
I think from like a game preservation standpoint, it's cool that this is on modern platform. Well, modern. I say modern, but PS4 is really not modern anymore.
No,
but
no.
modern-ish that people actually own, and they can play. You know, they can play the PS4 version on PS5. So from that perspective, it's cool because there are a lot of games that, especially on that PS3 and Xbox 360 generation, that are just stuck there. Particularly like games like PS3 exclusives, like Metal Gear Solid 4, where because of the PS3 architecture was so different, it's just like not worth porting those games.
Yeah.
To other platforms. So I'm assuming this version of Red Dead is not even the PS3 version. It's like probably just the Xbox version, just ported over.
Did we get a resolution details for the PS4 version?
PS4 base is 1080p 30.
Yeah.
PS4 Pro and PS5 are 4K 30.
Okay. So yeah, at least it's running at 4K. I mean, obviously the textures aren't there, but it's outputting clarity.
It will actually be interesting because the way the Xbox Series X and S enhanced version of Red Dead work, it's not like Rockstar didn't enhance it. It was just Microsoft enhanced it, and I think the way they do their upscaling is at an API level, not typically at like an emulation level, which is unique to that kind of architecture.
It's like Nvidia's upscaling, yeah, where they grab the screens and then they do it before you see it, rather than like
Yeah.
So it's like an
Exactly.
in between thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like performance wise, if like maybe the Xbox One X version of Red Dead Redemption will run better than the PS4 Pro version, just because it's a different upscaling technology.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Possibly.
And it's also, you know, Microsoft knows the architecture more than Double 11 probably knows the PlayStation architecture, you know, because they're a third party, they're a port studio. I don't know. It would be curious. I'll be interested to see how it does, but man, I don't know. I was just so deflated when this news came out. Like just, and I
'Cause
think
we were
everyone,
all
like,
certain that it was a remake or a remaster.
Yeah, we were pretty
didn't
damn
even
positive.
count this in.
man, I just can't believe all the bullshit like rumors and like all these like supposed like leakers. They were like, oh yeah, it's happening, it's coming.
Yeah, it's
Like,
a
well,
remake, bro.
bullshit.
Like,
They're fucking complete bullshit. Like it's not coming.
Bought
It,
into the
it
hype,
was never
bro.
existing. Obviously.
bought into the hype. Like, yeah, it was just insane. It was just
Yeah, and
insane.
obviously people are very upset about it because like this,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got a lot of dislikes.
Yeah, it's how many?
Oh, I can't see it. I don't have the dislike thing on here, but I know the Rockstar Games version of the trailer has like 100,000 dislikes.
Oh,
So
yeah, people are very unhappy.
people not happy, and that's even going beyond like the people who knew about the remake and remaster. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is probably like general public seeing this trailer and being like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you
Yeah.
releasing this
So
13-year-old game for
stupid.
$50?" Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, even if ignoring the rumors, even if you didn't think that was happening, yeah, the value proposition is still terrible.
it would have been
So-
so weird. Like, if we didn't know about any of that, the remake stuff, rumors, and one day it's just like, "Oh, okay, that's fucking
it's
weird.
a-
That's
yeah.
a weird,
Cool.
just a weird decision. It's 13 years
Yeah.
old, but okay."
Right.
It definitely
yeah.
doesn't help that info got leaked. Or the logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Oh,
South Korea rating it.
true.
Yeah.
That's where it
Yeah.
started, and the logo as well. The new logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was honestly battle around, like
Yeah.
bad place, bad time.
Talking about Rockstar. This literally came out this morning. Rockstar acquires Red M.
Rockstar.
They acquired the parent company. So, Roleplaying has been a major contributor to GTA 5's enduring popularity, with tens of thousands of players using mods to create characters that live, work, and play through the great freedom of San Andreas and Los Santos. Now, Rockstar is making a move into the space as CFX.RE, the team behind the biggest GTA 5, the 5M servers, and Rockstar Redemption 2, the Red M servers mods, and communities have joined the publisher. They actually said, over the past few years, we watched with excitement as Rockstar's creative community has found new ways to expand the possibilities of Grand Theft Auto and GTA 5.
Yeah, they
Grand
watch
Theft
with
Auto 5.
excitement, going,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
money.
get in on that.
Yeah, we need that. We need that slice of the pie.
Yeah, with the possibilities of GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, particularly through the creation of a dedicated roleplay servers. Rockstar wrote in its announcement, as a way to further support those efforts, we recently expanded our policy on mods to officially include those made up by roleplay creative communities. By partnering with CFX.RE team, we will help them find new ways to support this incredible community and improve the services that they provide to developers and players. This is cool. This is cool. Yeah, like it's.
I guess I will see. Like
Yeah.
That's the thing. We have to wait
I'm
and see what
always,
they
I'm
do.
always very. I mean,
I-
Take Two, 2K, Rockstar. You know, they make a lot of fucked up decisions.
I can't wait for them to put these servers into their. Do you know their GTA Online Plus model? The GTA Online subscription.
Oh,
yeah, the
shit.
subscription service.
Yeah,
not on
I
PC,
can't wait for
weirdly
them to
enough.
put it into
It's
this,
only
bro.
on. It's only on Xbox and PlayStation.
No, you can
there's
get on
some
PC.
weird,
You
there's
can get
some
on
weird
PC.
stuff with. You can get GTA
Yeah,
Plus
yeah,
now
yeah.
on.
Yeah, when I
on
went on my
PC.
stint on GTA on PC, yeah, I was constantly getting thrown on my throat about GTA on
Wait,
Plus.
what is it?
It's a subscription service, okay, and you get like free cars, free money, clothes. You basically get free shit for paying like $10 a month or something.
Okay, yeah.
right.
So it's just so you don't have to play as much.
Yeah, basically, right. They're gonna throw this.
It's
under
not on
there.
PC.
It's
I
not.
just looked it up.
Wait, why
it's
was it
only
thrown
on
down my throat
PlayStation
then?
5 and Xbox Series X and S? So yeah, because there's this weird thing where GTA Plus subscribers are getting content in GTA that the PC version doesn't have at all.
Yes.
Is that
So,
some
like,
sort
there's-
of region-locked content, against the EU or something like that? Or
I don't know.
yeah, 'cause I
But
know
so like
consoles can
people,
do
because
it.
a lot of PC players have been complaining that they're no longer at parity with the Xbox Series X, S, and PS5 versions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even like, I mean, those versions have ray tracing, and PC doesn't have ray tracing.
What?
Yeah. There's and GTA 5 for those consoles has a bunch of different graphical improvements that the PC version doesn't have.
Yep.
Oh, they know where the money's at.
It's very weird. Like so essentially right now PC is like at a weird point where it's halfway between like the Xbox One and PS4 versions and the PS5 and Series X versions, where it's like it's not fully at parity with those new versions.
Yeah.
It still gets like the content updates that come through, but a lot of like the GTA Plus stuff not anywhere to be seen in the PC version.
That's very odd because it was constantly getting thrown in my throat. I would constantly say like, if you want this car for cheaper, get
GTA Plus. Well, yeah, it's probably because they'll get you to get the subscription and be like, oh, it's not supported on this platform. Get it,
Yeah,
get it
right?
on, get it on
Yeah.
console.
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
how it's
Yeah,
work.
it's very very weird.
That's
Very
odd.
very strange.
I could see them putting this into the GTA, the subscription model.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
you
like-
know,
it's
having
like
GTA
even
RP
more.
servers with GTA Plus members.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
My
Well,
hope
that would
for
mean
this
they'd have
is
to
that-
put GTA Plus on PC.
Yeah.
True.
My hope for this is that it's just supported in GTA 6, and
Mm.
like you just have a server browser that you can go into, but that would kind of open them up to like some liability of what's
Yeah.
actually happening on those servers.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to monitor it, and like at what point does it actually intrude on
Yeah.
the roleplay aspect of it. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes, but I just kind of have a bad feeling for some reason.
Yeah. I was
Anytime there's an announcement for Rockstar, there's always a bad feeling. Like it's crazy. Yeah, as I said, they make a lot of weird, very
They
very
really
strange
do.
decisions, and so yeah, it's totally fair to be apprehensive.
Sorry, Jimmy. What is this? Is this supposed to be Cyberpunk?
This is the GTA RP 3.0 cinematic trailer.
Oh, no
Oh.
pixel, yeah.
Yeah, for no pixel.
Oh, I thought this was Cyberpunk because I thought I saw someone.
No, because
roleplay
Johnny
as
Silverhand's a
Johnny
character. Someone
Silverhand.
plays Johnny Silverhand in or they did.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do anymore in GTA
Yeah.
RP.
Okay.
Um,
Because I know that this shit's really popular. I know it's really popular, right?
not as much anymore.
Yeah, it's
funnily
kind of
enough.
Really?
died down.
It's
Really?
actually funny that this announcement's happened now. Because yeah, GTA RP, especially like 5M, and no picks, like it's just sort of
It's middle.
died down a little
tapered,
bit
yeah.
Yeah.
in terms of a kind of Twitch viewership, and I mean that's where it was really popular. I'm sure outside of Twitch it's popular
Yeah.
as well, but
Mm.
Rockstar probably
yeah,
started writing the contracts when, like, when it was popular months ago.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, that's probable actually.
If they do this right, this could be really big for Rockstar because this used to be really popular. This could be like a very good thing for Rockstar to do if they do it right. I don't think they will, but if they support it
Yeah, I have my
properly
doubts.
and they
I
get
think
the
I mean
publicity into
with
it,
how much they kind of nickel and dime people,
yeah,
it's probably going to be a similar situation with this.
it
Yeah,
is
I think it'd be
100%.
really like my absolute like pipe dream hope is that it's a server browser in the game supported crossplay across all consoles, and it's just nice and easy for everyone to like import assets across consoles and PC, and it just everyone is to play on the role playing servers. It's not going to happen.
No.
Jesus,
No.
I can smell the copium from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really good, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to happen. Unfortunately, it's just
Yeah, and it may even be a fact that where they're not even really going to be super hands on. It may even be just a fact that they just want to have a piece of the pie.
Yeah, it
The
could
money
be
that
that
they're
simple.
earning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that because yeah, I can totally understand that from their perspective, especially with their parent company being Take Two. They like
Take-Two
money,
likes money.
so
Take-Two likes money.
they really do like money.
Mhm.
So I could understand that from that perspective. They're just like, no, we don't want you earning money off our game. We actually are gonna buy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't
tried
know.
to look
It's
it up
cool, I guess,
beforehand.
but
I tried to look up beforehand, but I couldn't find any like metrics on like how much this was being made. I couldn't
Well-
how
find
much
any
the deal
metrics.
was?
No, not the deal, but how much.
How much
Red.
CFX
Red,
or RE?
Yeah,
make?
you'll never know.
No,
Yeah.
I mean they don't.
Even,
They're
like,
not publicly
Yeah, I couldn't
traded,
find anything
so
like that, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
you'll never know.
And
No,
yeah,
I'll never
each
know.
server on the platform makes it, its own money as well. So there's obviously a lot of money out there, but we just have no idea who's making
The-
what.
Who's making the most?
I mean, they
right?
must.
Yeah.
It must be profitable,
For
otherwise.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh
it
yeah,
would've
if
shut
Rockstar
down.
wouldn't buy it if it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So it is definitely profitable in some way, shape, or form.
I do wonder how much streamers finance the.
Oh,
with
it's,
their
So,
streams.
the way I understand it, right, is the server owners will pay the 5M CFX, whatever the fuck it's called, to host their platform, and they have to pay a certain amount per players and how busy it is and what they're doing with the servers and like how much data bandwidth is going back and forth. So they're basically just paying for server hosting, and then any players who want to pay for stuff on the server, it goes to like the person who's hosting the server. So like for streamers will pay no pixel, but no pixel won't pass that money on to 5M directly. They just pay for 5M services. I think that's how it works, at least.
Right.
And it seems to make sense.
And so you'd assume that at a certain point they won't technically be using 5M servers anymore. They'll probably just host them on Rockstar servers.
Which is good.
yes,
But it ran flat
stable.
anyway, so yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Doesn't change
that's
too
true.
much.
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like especially as for the longest time, Rockstar and Take Two was so against RP.
Absolutely.
They were.
You know,
Yes.
they were completely ignoring it and just sort of pretending it didn't exist and even trying to enforce against it in certain cases. Especially when wasn't there a time when they were trying to get 5M to pay them?
Yeah, I do
That's-
remember something
I do
like
remember
that.
something like that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the outcome. Obviously, well, the outcome was good. They just got bought, but
Yeah.
yeah, there was definitely like Rockstar had a stance on it where they weren't super keen with this kind of the modding community and having their own servers and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
don't
definitely
know.
interesting.
Look,
Definitely interesting. We'll see
This
where it goes from here.
I just hope because this is such an area that I would love for it to work because like GTA Online had this a little bit where it had like a little bit of the roleplay aspect. I just hope they kind of branch out on it. It's copium if I say that, but yeah, no, it's just gonna be
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a little bit copium.
it's a lot of big copium. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll see. Lastly, Take Two hints at GTA 6 next year. So this actually, this happened earlier in
The
the
second
weeks.
time he's done this.
Wait, really?
Yeah, well, so a few months ago there was the previous earnings call. There was something similar to this where it was like Yeah, dude, in 2024, 2025, we're gonna make a shit ton of money. Like,
Yeah, we talked about this like a month ago, didn't we?
but this is another
Yeah.
earnings
It's a
call.
different thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically,
more
in the latest
recent.
earnings call, Take Two CEO and Chairman Strauss Zelnick said, "We at Take Two remain confident that that we are positioning our business for a significant inflection point in fiscal 2025. We believe this will include new record levels in operating performance. Take Two fiscal year 25 runs between April 2024 and March 2025." While some of the news might just be buzzwords for investors, Take Two expecting a total of $8 billion in net worth
Yeah.
next year means versus their current fiscal year, which is only at $5.5 billion, so an increase of $2.5 billion. If the published prediction
That is how math
long
works. Good job,
long
article.
anticipated, long anticipated GTA 6. Not only could reveal the date to be imminent, but the release date to be somewhere around that time.
So
Yeah,
how let's break that down.
yeah.
How much of that 5.5 bill? Because I would expect that when GTA 6 releases, GTA 5 sales just dead.
Yeah, it's
How
gonna
much of
plummet.
that 5.5?
Somehow it just still keeps selling.
Yeah, top number one. Yeah. How much of that 5.5 do you think is GTA 5? And so can we make the reasonable assumption that the 2.4 plus that percentage would be GTA 6? Like, because I don't know, I feel like it could be more than the 2.5 or however much you said. Yeah, 2.5 that they make
I
off GTA 6.
think GTA 5 is probably making $500 million a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say around
More,
that much.
maybe a bill. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, what games did they release this year? The last fiscal.
Take Two.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Take Two owns 2K, who does
Yeah.
2K
So it's quite a lot.
NBA.
Yeah.
They do release a lot of games.
Mm.
If I look at Take Two Interactive 2023 games,
I'm gonna say personally that GTA probably earns 5 to 700 million.
they own Private Division, who released Kerbal Space Program 2. So
Yeah.
there you
Forgot
go.
about that. Not that made a heap.
No,
But
no, it was just yeah. So they own Rockstar, 2K, Private Division, Zynga, Zynga
Bazinga.
Mobile. Yeah, that would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Although is
Shit,
Zynga,
that would be a lot.
That would be so much money.
Zynga making a lot of money from mobile games these days?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
They
when-
have Words with Friends. That's Zynga.
Oh
Okay.
shit!
I feel like that makes money. Maybe.
It's microtransaction at the wazoo, more than likely.
Yeah. They released Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells.
That's a win.
Shit!
Oh, this might be old. Yeah, that
Oh.
was last year. Anyway, yeah, so they've got Zynga. So that's, I mean, they're making a lot of money from a
Yeah.
lot of different places. But I think GTA makes up a decent amount of that.
I would say GTA, as I said,
Maybe
makes
not a
5
billion.
to
I
700
mean-
million. 5 to 700 million. I think.
But would you expect that, let's say 3 bill, would you expect GTA 6 to make more than 3 bill in its releasing year?
Here's the thing, though. This is what I'm thinking. Well, I don't think it'll make more money.
I think it makes. I think that weekend, because I assume it's going to release on like a Friday. I think that week, because GTA 5 made $1 billion in 3 days, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm not sure that this is GTA 6. It just doesn't feel like enough
GTA
money.
6 makes $1 billion in 1 day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
gonna
not sure
make
that
it-
this is enough for an entire year of sales. I don't know.
Well, maybe they're being a little conservative.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that is possible.
True. That's a good point because
So it's
God.
an extra $2.5 billion, but maybe they're expecting the second, because so here's the thing. I expect GTA 6 to get announced this year. At the end of this year, October, November time, I think GTA 6 will get a reveal trailer and it'll get like a release day, a release year probably, and maybe not a
Yeah.
date. And I think the second you announce GTA 6, GTA 5 sales
so drop.
and microtransactions and all of that income stops. I think that's why they're waiting so long. Is because the second
Yeah.
you announce the next thing, people aren't like when they know that
not going
stuff's
out to
not going
buy
to
it.
transfer over, so they're immediately going to stop buying stuff in GTA 5. So I think that's why they're
Bro, imagine if it
maybe
does
that's why-
transfer over.
the amounts less, because between April 2024 and March 2025, there's going to be no GTA 5 income at all, basically, for significantly less than what it is now.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, people will stop buying because they'll be like, oh, I only have to wait this long for the next one. So,
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I think this is a good chance that I do.
I mean,
think-
$2.5 billion.
It's no small
There's-
amount.
No,
That's a lot.
But is
Like,
it GTA 6 money?
I
think
think so.
Yeah,
I
it
think
could
that's
be.
GTA 6 money.
Yeah.
I think that's GTA 6 money.
Especially when you think about it. So it's April 2024 to March 2025. I assume like GTA 6 could come out early 2025.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
And so that $2.5 billion could be like a month. It could
Yeah.
be February 2025.
Or
You know-
do you think that they have something in the works from one of their child company developer companies that we aren't even expecting, and it's a beloved franchise, and it's coming
What
back.
does 2K own that's
But-
I don't know.
beloved?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we're
Apart
2.5
from-
billion.
I feel
Yeah,
like
nothing else.
Rockstar's the crown jewel,
Yeah.
and I really can't think of anything that 2K. Maybe I mean I was gonna say Bioshock, but Bioshock's not making $2.5 billion.
No, it's
like
not.
I honestly don't think there are. I think, I could count maybe on one hand how many franchises could make that money.
Oh, you are missing Bully 2.
Yeah, the game that's
Oh.
apparently been started and cancelled 3 times in the last decade.
This is it.
That's
Bully
it.
2 is making
I never
25
played
and a half.
Bully 1. I fucked up. I've actually
Bro, are
got
you
Bully
ready
1
for
on
Bull-
PC.
You know why they're gonna
Runs
announce
bad.
Bully Online?
It does
That's what
run
they're gonna
bad.
announce. They're gonna announce Bully Online, bro. That's what they're
Bully
gonna do.
Online.
Yeah.
No, they're going to announce a mobile port of Bully for
Yeah.
no reason. And then they're going to remaster it a decade later and it's going to look worse and run worse than the mobile version. I don't think there's many other games.
No.
I honestly, apart from
Yeah.
that 2K owns, there's no other games. I don't
no,
think
No.
that can
That could
can
make that much
earn-
money, yeah.
I think it has to be. Now the question is, do you think it's a 2024 game or a 2025 game?
I would say, and maybe just before Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna say the best
November?
launch.
I feel like they
probably
want to get it
happens
out before
November.
like what is it? November 22nd is Black Friday. Whatever before Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be their best launch is November. That they would make so much money if they actually did it off November.
My prediction is a September release date, but delayed to 2025. Because Rockstar games don't hit their initial release date.
No, they don't.
Um,
No, they don't.
because
Maybe
like
this time.
because GTA 5 got delayed from April to September.
Yes.
I
Shit.
think.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Red Dead 2 got delayed a year.
Yeah,
It
true.
was meant to come out. I think the initial release trailer said, or like the reveal trailer said 2017, and then it came out
Oh,
2018.
Yeah.
They needed more time on the horse cock.
Yeah,
they-
the cock and balls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe they're really prepared for GTA 6 to come out end of 2024, but I think it's more likely that it gets announced for September and then gets delayed to like March 2025.
Mhm.
And that's why it's only 2.5 billion, because
Yeah.
it's only going to be that month. Well, maybe they're expecting like 2.5 billion is their estimate if it releases in March, and maybe their estimate if it
a good
releases
point.
in September is
Yeah.
more.
I was
So,
thinking
don't
the
know.
whole
I
year
know-
for some reason, but yeah, no, if it's only
I-
out for
Oh,
like
dude,
a month
imagine
or
if
two.
it, imagine
Yeah.
if it gets announced this year, coming out April
Comes out
2024.
in March, April, yeah.
Dude, I know.
I would
know
love,
it's
dude.
not-
I would love them to do a short.
Oh
a
yeah,
short
just
amount of time.
announcement, then like 2 months later it comes out, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
They typically
hey-
don't. Like Red
No,
Dead
they
2 was
don't.
2 years.
yeah.
I think GTA 5 was 2 years as well.
That
I
was
know.
way longer than that, wasn't it?
GTA
No,
5,
it was 2011.
Bro, that felt like
And
so
it-
long.
I know.
It
It's
did. GTA
because
5
we were
felt like
younger,
so
and it's
long.
like
Yeah.
time feels like it goes so slow. Yeah, it was only 2 years
It,
between
it felt
reveal
like
and
5.
announcement. I know. Yeah,
I
it's
know
crazy.
I know it's not gonna happen.
Mhm.
But imagine if GTA 6 flops. I know it's not gonna happen.
Well, that's never
Nah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even if it was like, even if it came out buggy like Cyberpunk, it would still.
do well.
I mean, as I said, the first 24 hours, it's gonna make a fuck ton of money.
It's gonna
it
make
might
so
make
much
2.5 billion in one day.
It's
Because
gonna
People
I-
probably get pissed about GTA Online, but that's the normal.
I'm curious because like, I much prefer the storytelling in Red Dead 2 to GTA 5.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they take GTA 6 in a different direction where it's a little more serious than it is satire, you know? Because GTA has been more the comedic side, where Red Dead 2 has
has.
been more of the serious, like, this could actually be nominated for an Oscar for best script writing or whatever.
Yeah, that could be cool actually if they like tackle like a modern story.
Yeah, an
yeah.
actual
Because,
modern
I
serious
mean,
story.
so one of the co-founders of Rockstar North said that he actually left the company. He wasn't sure what GTA 6 would even look like because of how quickly culture changes.
Yeah.
That when they started working on this game, let's say in maybe 2015, once the
Mhm.
PC port was done for GTA 5,
Mhm.
like how much has the world changed in just the last 8 years, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know how you, because I feel like back then GTA obviously came out more frequently. It was easy to stay on top of trends, but so I think that's why you go with a less satire route, because otherwise you're doing satire of stuff that's like 5 years old.
That's
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
that's
that is
true.
true. Yeah.
bro,
Because GTA, you know, I mean, didn't they do the GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas? Wasn't that in the span of 3 years?
It was very close.
They were very
Well,
close.
GTA
together.
3 was 2001, and San Andreas was 2005. So 4 years, 3 GTA games. Could you imagine if that was the cadence now?
Jesus
If they were
Christ.
releasing like,
just like year after year after year, just like a Call
I
of
do
Duty
miss
mentality.
that. I do miss like the insane cadence that Rockstar had
True.
during
But-
like the 360 era. Like,
I think we're gonna get a Red Dead level quality game. So Red Dead 2 level
True.
quality game.
it's true.
Just get ready for the human clocks changing. I don't know.
Do you think we get the same kind of sim elements that we got in Red Dead 2 and GTA 6?
I don't think so.
I don't know where you stop though, because like Red
Yeah.
Dead 2 is like a little like you can kind of understand what the cowboy fantasy would be. But
Yeah.
with a modern day, like you assume it's in Vice City, which is what
Go
the
to the
rumors are.
shop,
Like
get some beef.
like what is like how do you stop at like the fantasy of real life? Like
Yeah,
where do
exactly.
you stop
Yeah,
there? Like
exactly.
especially with like the criminal elements on top of that as well, and like running your own business, or I don't know. Like
I could see them doing it. I could also see them not doing it. You know what I mean? I could see them doing one or the
like,
other.
am I going to be able to go out to the ocean and do this full-on surfboard simulator, like
Yeah.
or fishing or like paddleboard? Like, am I going to be able to do or like?
There
There's
will
no
be
way.
shit like that.
There will be.
Probably. I mean, there were like mini
Rockstar
games
is
like
really
that in GTA 5.
Yeah,
You did
Rockstar's
tennis.
really good with GTA doing like mini games and whatnot. Like having like in GTA, you had like the Ferris wheel and you had like the roller coasters. You
Yeah.
had where
Fun
you could
gimmick
go
to do
s-
once shit.
Yeah, like fun.
The
little
the
gimmicks
roller
you could do.
coaster where you do it once and it's like, okay, that was fun.
Yeah, that
cool.
was cool. Right?
Someone
Yeah.
spent a lot of time programming that, but I
I
appreciate it.
remember when I did the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel took like 4 minutes to complete because
It's
how
so
slow it was.
long. It's
so
so
you're
long.
sitting there and you're like, wow, this is great. Like,
I kind of hope the tone of GTA 6 is more like GTA 4. Because
yeah, I was
GTA
gonna
4
say,
was a
GTA
little
4
more
was pretty
serious.
serious.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do.
And
I
I
was
think
gonna
that's
say,
the route they should go.
It dealt with some tougher topics, and it wasn't so like
It wasn't like GTA
Yeah.
5 where
Exactly.
it was really
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know
GTA
how to
5 was
describe
like I think they need to pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, GTA 5
Um,
I feel like at the time it was fine, but I feel like after Red Dead 2 with how serious and how good Red Dead 2 was.
Red Dead 2 is so good.
if
That
they
story,
pull
dude.
it back and do something similar to Red Dead 2,
Yeah.
but in modern, as we said, I think
Yeah,
that's really
even compared to GTA 4, like GTA 5 did not have a moment where like spoiler alert for this old as fuck game. If you haven't played it yet, you should have already. When Roman dies, like there's not a moment like that in GTA 5. at all.
Roman dies?
Yeah, Roman's dead.
No,
dude.
I
no,
mean,
dude.
I guess technically the end you make a choice on who you kill and then you go with the good ending in GTA 5.
It
There's
was
that
really
choice
funny.
where there is
I got the good ending. Yeah,
I got
was
the good
like-
ending too.
It's like fuck this.
My first
Not killing
ending,
anyone.
I killed Trevor, and then I realized
really?
I could get a good ending, so I just reverted to safe back and
Yeah.
did the good ending.
Yeah, I gotta
Um,
say, so GTA 4 story I prefer, but I really really appreciated the exploration in GTA 5
Yeah.
100%.
and like the
Yeah.
stunt jumps and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
wonder if it is going to be as gamey in GTA 6 because GTA 5 is like very much like Red Dead 2 is a little less like that. It's like more like you're not doing in Red Dead 2 you're not going to like I guess
No.
yeah you're not going to like a carnival and like
You
No,
are living
what-
in that world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you're not doing like mini games in
Yeah.
Red Dead 2. So I wonder if GTA 6 will be a little more
Possibly.
yeah a little more serious and a
Yeah.
little less like
I
do
think
the
they're gonna have-
shooting range mini game now and
Yeah.
like oh you're getting points and stuff. I don't know.
I think they're gonna have more serious tones, but I think it's gonna be alleviated by because you're still in modern world. There's still gonna be lighthearted things like carnivals and stuff like that.
Sure.
Exist. You know
Well,
what I mean? But I don't think there's gonna be mini
GTA
games.
4 still had there were still light-hearted moments.
Well, Let's go bowling.
Yeah.
You got the
Yeah.
bowling.
Exactly.
Yeah, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I feel like
Buzzing.
let's go bowling.
I'm gonna play GTA 4 again. That's a
Yeah,
It's a
great
good
story.
game, bro. It's a great
It's funny.
game.
I'd actually rather play GTA 4 again than GTA 5 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah, no, it's good. I hope I want to see something released soon, like some sort of trailer, because I think this game could be.
It has to be. It has to be this year.
It has to be.
If it's not this year, we're not getting this game till like 2026.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna take so fucking long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope.
Dude,
Let's go.
just imagine the day that trailer drops.
Oh, it's gonna be big.
Like just imagine social media and the views
Oh, yeah.
that thing is gonna it's gonna be fucking insane. The
Tomorrow.
hype levels leading up to GTA 6, like GTA 5 was huge.
Hmm.
But since then you've had 10 years of people like being introduced to GTA, but you still have the old you know, the fucking old boomers who play GTA 3. Like you still got them plus the new
There's a
like
whole
the-
generation of people that play
whole
GTA
There's
generation.
5.
literally a whole
Exactly.
generation. Yeah, this
that
is
are
literally a
now
whole
very
generation.
very excited for GTA 6.
Yeah.
It's gonna be meteoric. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna blow
insane.
up. It's gonna be
Just
great.
insane.
It's gonna be great. Do you think there's gonna be a crossover with Fortnite?
It's possible.
Does Take Two have any battle royales? I don't think they do actually.
No, they don't. Take Two doesn't.
GTA
have
5. GTA is gonna get a battle royale.
Yeah.
GTA, well, GTA,
GTA
Online
6,
does have like a
100
gimmick
criminals
battle
drop an
royale.
island.
GTA 5 does have like a gimmick battle royale, like a little game
Hmm.
mode, but that's
It's
it.
pretty crap.
Yeah, it's pretty shit.
You know what I'm looking forward to with GTA 6?
What?
An online service that isn't built on decade-old fucking architecture.
Yeah, where you can
That
easily
actually
get-
supports a live service
Yeah.
Yep.
in the way that a 2013 online game does not. and
Yeah.
and I can't I feel for the engineers at Rockstar having to fucking deal with decade-old infrastructure. I mean, I'm sure they've made upgrades since then, but
Mhm.
a decade-old engine that they've probably made improvements to, but it's still a 2013 engine. It's not using the Rage
can
2
only do
engine,
so
which
much.
Red Dead 2 used. Yeah, looking forward to that. Even though online is probably still going to be, you know,
It is what it
pay
is.
to win.
It
They
is
make
what
their
it is.
money on that, so
It's pay to play.
They
you know,
make a
it
lot of money.
happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, GTA 5 recently crossed 185 million copies,
Holy shit.
That's a bit.
and in March it crossed 175. So
That's-
in like just over
What?
four to 5 months, it sold 10 million copies.
10 years
2013
after
game, by the way.
release.
10 years old game, by the way.
I think here's what I think: the second they hit 200 million copies, GTA 6 announcement.
They're
They'll be like,
waiting.
that's a good amount. That's a good amount to
They're like,
end
we're
off.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, we made our money. Like, this is it. We're noticed.
Which is
Funded the
nuts.
next game.
185 million copies.
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, like as you said before, Jay, you could tell that they're waiting out because of how much money they make with GTA 5.
They make,
that they're
and,
just gonna
and as I
wait.
said, the second GTA 6 gets announced, they will see a maybe not a full but a decently
A
steep
steady
decline in
decline,
revenue,
right?
right? Unless, God forbid, they're like, no, we're migrating all of your shit over to GTA 6.
Please
that-
don't
There's
do that.
no
Please
that would
don't.
be that would actually be a fucking catastrophic
I
idea.
could see
I
them.
thought I wanted that, but I don't anymore.
I could see them
because
doing,
the good thing about GTA 5 online early was that it felt a little grounded. But if you
Yes.
migrate everything, motherfuckers are going to be on flying scooters immediately in GTA 6.
I could see them doing like maybe character, but not your gear. And
I don't
stuff
even
like
want
that.
them to do that. I don't want them to. I want it to be a fresh slate. Like
Yeah,
a, 'cause
My
like,
guy is cursed.
Yeah.
yeah. And also, I don't even want to look at my character anymore.
Or I could even see like, oh, like maybe if you like did this so and so in GTA 5, you get like a note this car in GTA. You know, you got the elegy in GTA 5 for free.
That's
I could see them-
acceptable.
I can
Something
see
like
them
that.
doing something like that because you
Yeah.
played GTA 5 online. You
Yeah,
get
that's
something
acceptable.
in GTA 6.
That's
for
fine
sure.
because you've got your Rockstar account, so
Yeah.
they'll know what you've done in GTA 5.
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be fine. If
I could
there's
see
like
them
if
doing
there's
something
like
like
a bonus pack
bonus,
for playing,
yeah.
Yeah, a little bonus.
maybe whatever year you join GTA Online, there's a little
Oh,
like
true.
you know if you're a legacy player, like a year one GTA 5 GTA
Bro, we
Online
were a
player.
day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. First 2 weeks when no one could get online, we were still
Yeah,
playing.
dude. I
Played that
I
same
was-
race.
There were yeah the race, but also there were no other activities unlocked
Yeah.
because they just locked everything down.
You could
couldn't
rob
even
stores.
You could.
Yes, you could rob stores. Yeah. That's
I
it.
Remember you, Isaac, and I were just robbing stores and doing that same race when we could get into it.
I remember.
God, that was a moment though when
Yeah,
like
it
everyone
was.
was like, I can't fucking play the game, and
Yeah.
we're like, oh dude, we're chilling. Like these servers are fucking holding up.
I
Yeah.
remember when I played GTA Online. It was in day one. I went to mod out my elegy that I got, and I saw someone had a cheetah. And I thought, because I remember seeing in the trailer you could steal any car and it was yours, and I was able to get his car. And I drove away. I'm like, oh shit, this is mine now. Like,
Yeah, and then he kicks
and he
you out.
locked me out.
Yeah,
and he kicked
yeah.
me out.
I
Driving
remember
along
when
and just
yeah.
when we all got online to race, and then Liam got locked out of the race, and then Nick could not log in again for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like
it was
he
after-
literally
if you
played
started
5 minutes of
playing-
GTA Online.
If you started playing after a certain point, it would just
Yeah.
not let you back in anymore.
Yeah.
But it let
That's
like
really-
the first day of people in every
However
time.
many people
Yeah.
that was. Yeah,
That's
because
really
it released at like midnight in the
Yeah.
US, so it was like 5 p.m. for us. So it was a good time.
We were
of,
on
like being able to
straight
look
away.
at. Yeah, literally minute 1 we were in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good time. That was
Eh,
even though
that
there was
first-
fuck all to do in GTA Online, it was still fun. Like early
That first
days.
couple of months was really fun. That it was really fun because of
sure.
just like the adventure of what you could do. And
I think
whatnot.
up to the first heist was really good.
That took so long as well.
Yeah.
First,
Like
I
that
felt
heist got
a
delayed
year or
two,
two.
like a year, basically. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I think all the content before that was like pretty based, pretty grounded, like not too crazy. And the heist was quite fun.
Remember the two missions you could keep? There were like money. There were like two missions you could do early on that people just farmed for like infinite money or whatever.
Yeah, you just got 10
Rooftop
grand
Rumble,
over and over
sorry.
and over.
It was like that one where you got to
Rooftop
go
Rumble.
to like you got to bust the drug deal or
Yep.
interrupt it, and then you use that money to get into the one where you got to steal the big plane
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
it's
in
rooftop.
the hangar at the airport.
It was called Rooftop.
Oh god, we
Rumble,
failed that
and
mission so many times because there would be a fucking cop car that would just ram our plane and fucking
Yeah.
blow it up. God, that was annoying. And we were all in the plane, so when the plane exploded, we would all fucking die. Oh jeez.
Yeah,
That was-
Rooftop
yeah.
Rumble and Crash the Titan. That's the two missions. That's what.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the two missions. That was the two
Yeah, so I'm
missions.
looking forward to the first 2 months of GTA 6 Online.
Yes,
and
and,
then
then
never
as soon
again.
as soon as I see a hint of like bullshit come in,
What do you think the time to bullshit will be for GTA Online?
oh, it's
for
gonna be pretty
GTA
quick.
6? How many months do you think?
3
it'll
months.
I
be?
give it, I give it
3
3 to
months.
6 months.
Yeah.
I give
How
it 3 to 6
quickly did
months.
microtransactions get introduced
in
Uh,
GTA Online?
in GTA Online?
2
Yeah.
weeks.
6.
It wasn't
How
long.
many weeks?
It was 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks for GTA 5 Online.
But
GTA
they
5 Online,
didn't
they brought in
introduce
shark
anything
cards.
that needed it for quite a
Yeah,
while.
they brought in
It was
shark
just
cards.
clothing, wasn't it? Well,
Yeah.
you could get the shark cards, but it was mainly just like some card. But you could like so
Cars were
you could
affordable.
get exactly they were affordable, but you
That's
could
the
like
thing. Yeah, they
skip
were
the line.
affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How quickly in GTA 6 Online do you think they introduced microtransactions?
Or some like
Obscene.
microtransactions and then some dog shit
Well,
thing
with
that
some
requires
dog shit, with some really
yeah.
expensive cars
Like
from the game.
$5
million
mean,
or
see,
something.
Red Dead 2 is a good example. Red Dead Online.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
very quickly, it was like, oh, everything
Immediately.
is fucking like 13 times more expensive than it is on in single player,
Yeah.
and you get less money for jobs. Like,
I could see 2 DLCs in. First DLC is gonna be manageable. People are like, oh shit, this could be good. Second DLC is gonna be absurd.
I've got so what I think they're gonna do is GTA 6. I think they're gonna do the same thing that they did for GTA 5, where online releases. What was it, 2 weeks after or a month after?
It was.
I think
2
it was a
weeks.
month after release.
It was. I thought
It was
2 weeks.
October, I think.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I think it was maybe a little less than a month because the game released September 17th,
Mhm.
and then it was like October 1st
Yeah.
is maybe when the servers started up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they released GTA 6 on GTA 6. Reviews come out, it's glowing reviews, and then they released GTA Online later. But by then, all the reviews have happened, and they have the bullshit in day one immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately, there's bullshit
Yeah.
there, and there's controversy,
possible.
but everyone's already bought the game, so
Everyone's already reviewed it.
exactly,
Here-
and there's already reviews out.
Here's the issue though, is that they would want GTA Online to do well, right?
I think it
GTA
will no
6.
matter
Everyone's
what.
already
I think
expecting it.
I think the difference between Red Dead Online and GTA Online is that I feel like people give more of a shit about their character in GTA. Like, even from the get go, just like there's more possibilities of doing certain things in GTA Online than there ever was in Red Dead Online.
True.
And
My,
I
my
think that's
only,
maybe why.
my only thing is that like back in 2013 with microtransactions and whatnot, it was pretty the lines that weren't pushed yet. You know what I mean? We didn't have the issue with the loot boxes. We didn't have
The worst controversy was the horse armor in Oblivion. At that
Exactly.
point, that was the worst thing you'd seen.
but
And people
but-
were okay with buying a camo for your weapon in Black Ops 2 that was bacon. Like it
Yeah.
was just like it was the early days. You're right.
but now we've been through the weeks. We've seen the bullshit. So if
We've
GTA
seen
comes,
Battlefront 2.
yeah.
That
so,
was the apex of the bullshit.
Yeah.
So if we come out and GTA Online comes out and there's a bunch of bullshit, yes, it'll be really popular, but people will very
I
quickly
think
go
there's so many players playing GTA Online now that are sifting through the bullshit that they'll just be like,
True.
oh, it's
also
just
a
what I
different
remember.
sort of bullshit because
Yeah.
Yes.
it's not stopping you from playing like a lot of the other stuff, but it's like just locking you behind time and a fucking lot of. But I know that's how Battlefront 2 was as well. But
Well, Battlefront 2 was, I mean, it was pay to win in the sense that you could,
Yeah, that's
day
true,
one,
actually.
you could immediately get as many loot boxes as you wanted
Yeah.
to get really, really high powered stuff that it would take them hundreds of hours to get.
yeah,
Yeah.
And in GTA Online, like you can have your own private lobby, so there's not really that pay to win element as much. It's really just blocking as you said, the time to get to the cool
Yeah.
stuff.
I
And I
think-
think a lot of people are okay with it. I'm just like, I'm not.
My major problem with it is just that it blocks gameplay, like actual content.
does. Yeah,
like
totally.
the CEO missions, and like you have to
Yep.
buy your own business. It costs $2 million or some shit like that. Like it's a
Super
decent amount of gameplay. Like
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
they have made it a little easier now because I feel like the version of GTA 5 that releases has you get a bit of cash at the beginning.
It
yeah,
is.
and also it's
I will.
inflated a bit, so you get more money from stuff now. I think.
Yeah.
When I
The
went through my
problem is
stint,
that we're in the bullshit where like
Yeah.
because we played the game early,
Mm.
we're actually not benefiting from the
Yeah.
changes they've made as
I
much.
I will say, with playing through GTA Online recently, it is better. The missions are still boring as shit, and like it's still repetitive.
Yeah,
shit,
I just
but
don't really like the
it's
flow of the missions in the game.
yeah.
Like
But
I really hope
it's
that's one thing I
definitely
really want GTA 6 online and even the missions in GTA 6 like single player. I just want there to be more variety. And I
Yeah.
would actually like it if the missions didn't always devolve into like a typical gunfight. And
Mm.
maybe I played too much
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3. But I would actually love if you could talk your way out of situations. I don't know. I feel
Nah,
like
that would
maybe
get
it's going
way
too
too
RPG.
easy in
a
metagaming for XP farming.
CRPG in GTA 6. Let's go.
I don't know, there's stats in GTA Online anyway, man. There's already stats there, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, go full RPG.
Yeah,
with
go
I
it.
feel
full
like it would
You're
be
RPG.
too
anyway.
easy when you're like farming money and XP. You just be like, oh,
Yes.
I know what to do already.
Well,
Just
maybe
Yeah.
not
click,
like
click,
you,
click.
not maybe not talking out of it completely, and you just they're like, oh fuck, I have my money. Like, I
But
don't
just
know.
going
Yeah.
through different routes.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
options to like how the heist missions work.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe just like a
Yeah,
soft heist
But
mission.
as that is
Yeah.
like a baseline, which I
Yeah.
know is like a fuck ton of work. But that
Maybe
way,
not that intense, but
that
yeah.
way, from like the replayability factor, at least when I'm doing the same mission over and over again, I can be like, oh, I wonder what if I go like super loud this time, or I hire a different person, or I bring in a different vehicle or something. I don't know, changing it up a little bit in terms of like some modularity with the missions. And fuck, Rockstar got the money, man. They got the money to do that shit.
I don't think they
And
will,
I think
but
it's
that would be
more
really
addictive.
cool.
It's more addictive, that way.
Yeah.
Get people playing
True.
more.
Uh, speaking about replayability, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate.
yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. This game, it's good.
So this is actually, I worked it out. So I played Tears of the Kingdom 40 hours the first week it came out.
Yes.
I played Baldur's Gate 3 50 hours. So we've got a new
Ooh.
record for how many hours in a week I played a game.
Oh.
This year.
This year, just 2023.
Yeah.
This
Not
year's
previous
been
years.
no. I mean, this year's in nuts, right? It's fucking insane how many because like Baldur's Gate 3 sort of snuck up on me. Where
Yeah.
like I had my eye on it, but I was like,
You were really excited.
previously it was coming out August 31st.
Yeah.
Literally a day before Starfield. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm playing this game immediately because it's coming. But then when it got pushed forward to August 3rd, I was like, oh, I got a month. I got
Yeah.
a little bit of time to play it. So I might as well jump in and give it a go. And man, what a fucking surprise. What a gem,
It's a good game. It's a good game.
I just-
like.
I mean, we've talked about it at length, but like just the idea of how different our playthroughs have already been.
Which so yeah, it's one thing I was going to quickly say. I feel like we could talk about Act 1 because that was in the beta, right? That was the beta.
Yeah, I
But
think
I
I
say
think I
let's-
think Act 1 spoilers are okay. at
Yeah,
this
but I think
point.
Act 2 and 3
to an
we'll
extent.
leave out.
Matt, we
Yeah.
don't have to go fully into
No,
like,
no, but
here's
Just put a
what
tag
is
on
the
it.
outcome of
Act 1 spoilers.
oh, true.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
also do
I'll,
that.
I'll just
Yeah.
do that now quickly.
Just put Act
Um,
1 spoilers in parentheses. Easy.
Um,
But yeah, even when we've been discussing like Nathan is going a completely different route to us because he made a choice in Act 1 that like completely diverged our paths.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's
Completely.
for the
completely
better or
like,
worse,
it's
but like
exact opposite.
like
which is really funny.
he is completely different.
Like
Yeah.
To where we
everything
are.
past that point has just been like so different.
Yeah.
Even like party members that I have that you didn't come across, so their story just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Or like
Well, they're dead.
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
they're dead. Like, I mean, when Lae'zel and Shadowheart fight in camp, you can fuck it up, and one of them could kill the other one,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then that ends their storyline. And like Shadowheart and Lae'zel have their own massive like companion quest
Mhm.
that you just get blocked out of. Like that's just like that's like kind of RPGs 101. But I feel like we've lost that a little bit
we have.
for the longest time, where I feel like a lot of games were like, no, we want you to be able to experience everything in a game.
Mhm.
Whereas Baldur's Gate's like, no, we want you to play this game for decades and experience different kind of variations and go different pathways and do different things. And I think that's really it just reminds me of like old BioWare RPGs, honestly.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Mass Effect, it reminds me of Dragon Age. And I really hope that BioWare's taking some notes from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Like I would
The
love if
Setting a new standard.
no, not setting a new standard, but just like I just want them to. I want Bioware to see that hey, you don't have to dumb down the RPG element, which I feel like they've increasingly done. Like even on our top 100 list, like we've got Mass Effect 2 at number 8, I think. Mass Effect 2 was much less of an RPG than Mass Effect 1 was.
Yeah.
It went way more mainstream with way more into like the third person shooting aspects, whereas Mass Effect 1 was like you are commanding your squad mates to go to certain positions in a similar way to Baldur's Gate 3, where you sort of slow time and you're like positioning them, right? With
Kind of
some
XCOM-y.
exactly, but with it was a pause mechanic where
Yeah, I
when you
remember it.
unpause it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're doing full combat like you would normally, and you don't even have to engage with that aspect of it. But it does make harder difficulties a lot easier. And so I just appreciate that Baldur's Gate 3 is doing something that a lot of RPGs have kind of left behind, you know? And yeah, dude, like I mean, we can talk about some of the decisions we've made and how different they've been, but like even from the
I
base,
also
like the big choice with the Grove.
I was just gonna say quickly, the main thing for me is the amount of goddamn detail in this game. Like it's insane.
Sure.
Like I knew there was a lot of detail, but even the smallest things of how your class can affect the story, or how you can just completely change on your companions, or even small decisions that you make with your companions will change how the story goes. Like for example, Jamie, we run very similar stories right now. We're both pretty similar, but in your game, everyone's trying to fuck you. In me, everyone
Dude,
is chill.
everyone is fucking horny, man.
Yeah.
Everyone. Bro, I literally spoke to Holson, who is like this druid that you come across in Baldur's Gate. Spoke to him twice in my camp, and the second time he was like, "Oh yeah, when we get this curse worked out, like I'm gonna take some time out for me and maybe others." And I was like,
Yeah, dude,
why
they're
is he
always
hit-
dropping hints, aren't they?
"Why
Yeah.
is he
they're-
hitting on me,
Yeah.
man?" Like I've
Which-
spoken to this guy twice. Like,
Which is like mine is exactly, I don't know what I've done because they all have such high favorability with me. But I think because I've been very adamant that like, hey, I'm dating Shadowheart, right? Because I started dating Will and then I chose and I went to date Shadowheart instead. And after I made that choice to do that, literally everyone's like, oh, bet, cool, that's fine. And everyone's chill. Like everyone's really chill. I've had a
I
couple of
fucked Lae'zel
dialogues.
twice, and it wasn't even because I like her. I was just like, sure,
Sure.
fuck it. Come on.
The thing is that like I've had dialogue options where they're like, "Hey, I love you," and like I think because it's broken, I think sometimes it glitches and it does that because like then immediately afterwards I would have Gale be like, "Oh, you're such a good friend," after he tells me he loves me. Like,
Rejected.
yeah,
I think there are some bugs with the characters liking you, like because when I
Yes.
see like the bar when you go to your character sheet, you can see how much you're favorable to them. It doesn't always align with how they talk to me.
no,
Like Asterion and I are like halfway, like in the yellow, but he's pretty okay with me. Like he even he approves of stuff I do that I typically wouldn't expect him to approve of. Like
Yeah.
when I'm doing good things, he's like, oh yeah, sure. And it's weird because then sometimes he'll just like go the complete opposite direction and be like, no, I fucking hate that. I hate you. And it's like, I guess that is in the middle, right? Is sometimes
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just feel like it's weird how horny they get. All these
They
characters.
do. Some
Because
of the
even
characters-
Asterion, like the first time I did a long rest in the game, Asterion came onto me.
Yeah, same.
Really?
There was actually not one character that didn't for me. Like literally everyone
Yes.
I spoke to was ready. I could have chosen the option.
Will tried to dance with me before and like make a move, and I was like, nah,
Wait.
I'm
Yo, see,
waiting.
this
I'm
is
waiting
so
for
different.
Karlak.
This is so different to my playthrough because I
Has Will hit on you?
well, I dated Will first. I was dating Will, and then
Can you
I was
date
like,
someone in this game? I thought you just fuck him.
huh?
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
didn't-
just like a,
It's kind of well, no, because like
It's just a fling.
I would
I mean,
there.
I one of my dialogue options with Lae'zel is literally to stop the fling. Like even my character sees it as like nothing,
no, well,
and
because
she
so
sees
I
it as
was,
nothing too.
I was dating Will, and the reason I say it like that is because when I then chose to go to Shadowheart because I just felt like I just like Shadowheart a lot more in this playthrough. I actually had to break up with Will. I actually had to do
Oh.
dialogue options. So I had to go to Will and say like, "Hey, sorry, man, my heart's
Hey,
somewhere
maybe I got to do
else."
that with Lae'zel then. I gotta
Yeah,
end the
I
fling if
had
I
to be
want
like,
to
"Hey, man, sorry,
end
my
up with
heart's with
Karlach.
You
Shadowheart."
do, yeah, because I don't have any more options anymore. Because after I, oh, actually, I will now that I've neutered and killed the person that I was with.
We'll get to that in a second.
That's what
That's
I'm
really
saying.
funny.
Like Nathan's killed probably 10x the amount of people that I've killed in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, main
Um,
characters at least. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, like I actually had to break up with Will, and once I did, I went to Shadowheart, and after that, everyone's been really chill. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Like you're dating Shadowheart. That's it, right?" Like no one
There you
is
go.
trying to have sex with me anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I guess
Well, I guess
yeah,
technically I'm not dating anybody in the game, and that's why everyone's hitting on me. Because like
yeah,
with the thing
maybe.
that Lae'zel and my character have, it's just like it's like when we're in the mood sort of thing. Like it's
Mm.
not like we're dating or anything. Like Lae'zel sees me
Yeah,
as like an object basically.
yeah. Like because I literally had I don't know if you guys had this, but I literally had a dialogue with option with Shadowheart where I said I love you and I want to be
Yeah,
with
I've had that.
you.
Yep.
Yeah, I had that, and
I'm
everyone's been chill,
favorable
and
with
no
her,
one.
but we're not on like she's actually the only character that hasn't hit on me yet.
Interesting, because Shadowheart is like the bar. She's all the way on the right. She's like the
Yeah.
furthest you could possibly go.
I'm
Right?
interested in where mine are actually. I haven't looked at where my relationship
I
statuses
actually I
are.
can't remember exactly. I don't think I have anyone who's all the way on the right yet, but you're further ahead in the story anyway.
I am.
So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
probably had more
She only
opportunities to
got to that
chat.
point once I got into Act Three. She only got to
Yeah,
that
okay.
point once I got in there.
Yeah, I'm
Um.
still. I don't know how long Act Two is gonna take for me, but you know how slow I'm taking this game. I'm reading the books. You
Yeah.
know the
No. I
books you
would.
get.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm reading them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actually really good because it
There's
gives
some
you a lot of
good.
information outside of because sometimes you read a book and it'll be like it updated a quest marker or whatever,
Yeah.
or in your journal. But sometimes it doesn't do that, but it still gives you information that's actually really useful.
Yes.
Um, and so I actually think reading the books is actually very beneficial if you're
Mhm.
trying to do everything and try to see
Yeah.
everything. It helps to kind of
Especially
scope
when you
out
try
what you're
and
meant to do.
like talk your way out of shit. It
Mhm.
can help
Exactly.
making the
It's-
correct
Yep,
decision.
exactly. Yeah,
It's
especially when you
ironic.
see like someone's journal and then you've got to talk to them in a certain way and you've got to kind of have that background.
You know,
It's
you
what
have
I
a
didn't do
leverage
in
point.
Life is Strange, where I was looking for all that girl's belongings and then she killed herself because I didn't know enough about her. Well, remember in Life is
Jesus.
Strange 1, you know,
Jesus.
you saved her, she died, she jumped.
Jesus. But yeah.
It's
So
just it happens in the game. Like,
yeah.
No,
she jumped at the
So-
school.
So, Act One. Okay, because I'm skipping past
couldn't
that.
save her.
Act One. Yeah. So.
I'm gonna go back and save her at some point.
So
I can't
we talked
remember
about
her
this last
name.
week. We talked about this last week. I multi-class. So I'm a ranger cross rogue. You're still paladin.
Oh, you're multi-classing? I haven't done
I-
that yet.
I multi-classed. Yeah.
I heard that multi-classing, if you don't know enough about D&D, you'll really fuck it up. So I haven't
Yeah, you will.
multi-classed at all. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother multi-classing until like a subsequent playthrough, I think.
Yeah. No,
Also, I know. So my update on Paladin, right?
Yes.
Because I said that I broke my oath very quickly
Yes.
because I deceived someone, and I thought I would see. The thing is, I deceived someone to save a party member,
Mhm.
and I thought that was okay, but that completely broke my oath. And I was like, I for the first few hours after that, I was trying desperately to find out how to reclaim my oath.
Mhm.
I gave up on that, and I went to because when you break your oath, the Oathbreaker Knight comes to you, who's like the spectral form, and he basically said, "Hey, you know, if you go Oathbreaker route, you get a whole bunch of cool powers." And I was like,
Yes.
"No, I don't want your dark powers.
W.
I don't want your
I'm
your-
switching to paladin and immediately breaking that oath.
Well, you can actually start your paladin as an Oathbreaker.
Oh,
can.
cool. I'm doing that.
So you have there's two oaths you start with. You can choose between, and then there's Oathbreaker. So from the get go, you can go full on dark paladin style.
W.
But it's funny how I've got those powers, but people still view me as a hero, even though I can literally like turn the undead and like control
Yep.
them.
Mhm.
But I haven't really used them, so maybe that's why.
Hmm.
I haven't really had much of a reason to yet. I'm sure in like later Act 2 battles and Act 3, there'll be hard fights that I'll need to use those.
There's one battle you're gonna have to use it for.
But I
yeah.
gave up, fully went Oathbreaker. And yeah, I'm just on that path now. So I got a bunch of cool abilities, and
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, so Act 1, this I want to quickly talk about like how quickly it diverged between me and you, Jamie and Nathan. Because it diverged real quick because so Jamie,
Hour
we're
one, dude. I was
Jamie,
gone.
yeah, Jamie, we're doing a very it's a good playthrough. We're being good guys. You know what I mean?
We're making the right choice. We're not
Yeah.
we're making the choices that any decent human being
I say
would
morally
make.
correct.
The
Yeah.
morally
Morally
correct
correct. There you go.
Yeah.
choices.
We've got a moral compass.
Whilst Nathan, you immediately have gone to the end of being just. What did you say when you first played through? You wanted to make the choice that you wanted to make, or just the worst choices?
So
Like,
I'm role playing and living as my character when they don't give a fuck and they are doing every choice just for them. Even if it's against the party, it's just for my character that I made.
and doing just that difference has put you on a wildly different path, as we
Yeah,
said
dude,
to
shit
the
is
other ones.
crazy right now.
Yeah, so I know this was in the beta, so I'm okay to talk about this. Is the Goblin Camp and the whole fight between the Druids and the Goblins. That was in the beta, right? So, basically, there's like these Druids and Tieflings who you can choose to protect. They're having a little civil war, or there are like some goblins and whatnot that you have to go kill. But you could also side with the goblins to do that. Jamie, we sided with the Tieflings and Druids.
Well, it's funny because initially I was accidentally siding with the goblins. So what I did was in the grove there is a goblin who's been captured. I spoke to her a
Yes.
little bit, and I promised that I'd get her out if
Yes.
she would help me get into the goblin camp and get in. I was trying to be friendly. I was trying to like kind of deceive her in a way that allowing me to get into the goblin camp without him to kill everybody. Because I'm trying, my playthrough is trying to not hurt as many people as possible. Like if I can persuade or deceive my way out of certain situations, I'm gonna try and do it.
Mhm.
So I got Chazza out, who was the goblin, and then I had to sneak her out of the camp, obviously out of the grove, because the second they see me with a goblin, they're like, hey, what the fuck? Are you breaking
Yeah.
her out? Luckily I had a lot of persuasion. Like, so when they would see me with the goblin, they'd be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And I'd persuade them and be like, oh, I'm just taking them over here. I'm taking them to this person.
Mhm.
And obviously save scummed a couple times to get through that because they were
Sort of
very high checks. They were like, I think they were,
Oh, for
they
sure.
were, I think they were DC 18 and 20
Ooh,
for
damn.
those checks. So
That's early game as
did
well.
save scum. I'm not even embarrassed to do it.
Nope.
I feel like this game would be awful if I didn't save scum.
I want to do a playthrough where I don't save scum to see how bad it actually is.
I've
Yeah.
only done it once. It's
'Cause I just-
fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I didn't save scum, I'd be doing things that my character wouldn't do. It would be going
Yeah.
against what my character is, and I want to stay true to that. And then when I make a choice, I want it to go. I want it to be made. Like,
Mhm.
and I guess that's against the whole idea of like the checks anyway. But I haven't done it for everything though. It's only for stuff that I really think are important.
Mhm.
I give
The
it
only
like
time I did it
moments.
was last night with that impossible battle.
True.
Because I didn't
true.
feel like grinding anymore.
Yeah, that battle was pretty.
It's
Yeah.
fair enough.
But yeah, so yeah, you went to side, and see, you snuck into the Goblin camp, and you
Basically,
how-
I didn't even have to sneak in. I just like walked in. Basically.
So in the Goblin camp, there's 3 leaders you need to take care of. How did you kill the leaders?
I
Did
didn't
you?
kill the leaders.
Oh,
You
you
don't
did
have to.
it.
I didn't. So I spoke. So I spoke to the priestess.
Mhm.
She said she was going to help me with my
Apple?
little issue in my brain. She went away. I didn't. So I attempted to talk to her and see if she could help me, but she very clearly had ulterior motives
Mhm.
because she was trying to put me to sleep. But as a half elf, I couldn't be put to sleep by a potion. So immediately when I drank it, I was just like, "Is that
What's
it?"
going on?
She'd be like, she would immediately get aggressive and try and attack me, and I was like,
Oh.
I
That's kind of annoying.
don't really want to attack her, so I just went back a save and didn't talk to her basically.
Yeah.
Then went to the next guy, and I had to telepathically get into his mind to tell the dead mind flayer, like ask the dead mind flayer questions. Got through that luckily. Very close though, very close to him working out what I was doing.
Mhm.
And then went to the last person, and that's when Chazza was like spoke up for me and was like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna help us take on the Grove." And I was like, "What? What,
Hold
do you
on a
mean? What do
minute.
you mean? I'm
Yeah, what do you
I'm
mean?
not here for that. I'm just here to get rid of save the druid that I'm not talking about."
Yeah.
And so then that's when it gave me the objective, raid the Grove, and I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. But
Yeah.
luckily, the way the game works is even if you get an objective, you don't have to do it. You don't have
Doesn't
to
do it.
like even if you get like
There's been a few times, for me at least, you make a decision and it will give you up until the very last second to back out of it.
yeah,
Because I made another decision that was quite bad, and it gave me another like turning point to turn on the people right before it happened.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of what happened with the Grove, where
Yeah.
so I got through all that. I head back to the Grove. So I actually saved. There was a prisoner who was being tortured.
Yes.
A tiefling prisoner. Saved him. Did you do the BDSM scene
Oh, yeah.
in the Goblin camp?
Yeah, that was great.
Hey,
That was
yo.
weird.
No, it was weird.
So there's a guy, Nathan. There's a guy in the Goblin camp who is like in these leather straps. Who's like he's like
Yeah.
really into like the god of pain or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he said, I don't even know how I got into the situation where I have my back to him and he's whipping me with like this mace or
Wait,
whatever.
you actually did it? You actually did it?
I did, and guess what I fucking got? You've got to do these performance checks to scream and moan when it happens, and it has to be the right amount of DC. Otherwise, he'd be like, "I was pathetic." And then when you do 3 of those, he gives you a buff. When you're down to 35% or less health, you have more chance of doing an attack, of getting an attack
It's
off.
OP as fuck.
Yeah. And
Damn.
I've had it the entire campaign. The entire time I've had that. So when my main
Oh,
character
so
gets down to
straight up just,
35%, it is persistent. It has never gone away.
Shit.
Damn.
And so when I
Crazy.
get down to 35% health, to be fair, when I'm that low, I'm
Healing
probably
anyway.
nearly gonna die anyway. 'Cause
Yeah.
when that's about 20 HP, which is like 2 hits sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think it is like maybe it's my AC goes up by 2. So I'm less
That's pretty
likely to
cool.
be hit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I
that is what you get for that. Yeah.
See-
So what did you do with him?
well, okay. Well, he died when I slaughtered the entire camp.
Yeah, you did do the camp slaughter. Yeah.
I saved the prisoner first. The druid. I saved him first. Okay.
Oh, he was a druid. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I saved him first. He's like, "Hey guys,
Oh,
look."
wait. So you're talking about Halson?
Yeah.
Did you say the other prisoner?
Yeah, I saved the other one as well.
The
I
one
saved
that
all
was
of them.
like.
Yeah,
strapped
I
up?
saved all
Yeah.
of them. The last one I saved was Halson. When
You're
I
right.
saved him, he's like, "Hey, look, there's some people here. We need to take care of them."
Some people here.
Yeah,
are the
we
people?
need to
The
kill them,
leaders?
right? Yeah, the leaders. We need to kill them. And I had a
Why
choice.
did he not want me to kill the leaders?
Huh?
He just dipped.
Really?
I
For
think
me-
I told him their plan, the leader's plan to storm the grove, and he was like,
went to go protect.
"Okay, I'm going to the
Yeah.
grove. I'll protect it while
See,
you're."
I also told him, and he was like, "Hey, we could kill them now if you want to." He was bloodthirsty in my
What?
playthrough, and
I
he
wonder
was,
if it's because the way I broke him out was different. How did you break him out of the cage in bear form?
he was there. I talked to him. I talked to the kids. And I basically killed the kids straight up.
Jesus, you know what I
Yeah.
did? I
What?
told the kids to get a sharper rock, and they got a
Oh.
sharper rock, hit the bear with it, and he just busts out of the. So
Oh.
initially the goblins there didn't realize I was an enemy. So for a
Yeah, yeah.
turn, I was able to do damage to them,
Mhm.
and then I realized the kids attempt to run to contact people. So I
Yep.
fucking slaughtered the kids. Completely.
Yeah,
had
so
to get
what-
rid of them. Otherwise, they were gonna go tell the entire camp, and it would have gone really bad.
So what I did was basically I would talk to the kids as well, and then I distracted them in some way, shape, or form, and then
Mhm.
I basically told the bear, "Hey, just charge the wall, right? Just charge the door."
Right. So he wasn't out of the door.
No,
So
he wasn't.
You've
And then-
already initiated the attack with the goblins. I see.
Yeah, and then he charged the door, and then I had a cutscene where the door actually landed and crushed the kids.
That's what happened. So mine didn't crush the kid; it crushed the dude with like the 40 HP
Oh yeah,
and
no,
killed
mine
him
crushed
in
the
one hit because he
kids.
was a real piece of shit. And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know how I'm gonna kill this guy." But
Yeah.
so the first time, I just told them to throw a rock that wasn't a sharp rock,
Mhm.
and he broke down the door, but it wasn't like forceful enough to do much damage to
Mm-hmm.
the goblins who were in front of it. But with the sharp rock, he got fucking pissed and just barged that door down and did
Yeah.
enough damage to squish the dude with 40 HP and hurt the kids a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
yeah,
even
no.
just like the rock that they toss changes how that fight initiates, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Like,
And then basically directly afterwards, Hel's was like, "Hey, do you want to go kill the goblins?" I was like, "Bet." And then I slaughtered the entire camp.
Yeah, I
So
didn't.
so
It's so
the
funny. Like
BDSM dude.
I basically didn't. The goblins didn't know I was evil. I was against them until they got to the grove. And who's the person who can be your
Minthara.
companion? She telepathically talked to me and was like, "Open the door now." And I said,
Yeah, you get the choice to just say no.
There was a paladin option of being like, "No, I'm going to save these people. It's the right thing to do." And she was like, "Bad decision" or something like. And then she's dead now. She's dead.
Yeah.
Killed her.
For me,
Saved the grove.
I slaughtered the entire camp. BDSM guy, he died in the process of me slaughtering the entire camp.
That's so funny.
Jamie and I were somewhat in line for a little, and then it just went no.
Yeah,
It's funny.
and
I never
so-
saw that BDSM guy again. Like, so here's what happened. So I ended up going back to the camp at some point, the Goblin camp,
Yeah.
because there's an entrance to the Underdark in there.
There is.
And obviously going back there, they've heard stories about me and how I betrayed them. So the second I go into, actually, it's funny, the Blighted camp, the one with some goblins, they're still chill with me. They didn't attack
same.
me,
They're still chill with me.
which is interesting. I think it's because Shazza told them like directly while I was there.
I think for me, they just didn't realize the other goblin camp's dead. I just don't think they
Well,
realized.
that's also possible, but
Yeah.
but they would have gone through that camp to get to the grove anyway. So I don't know.
True.
But the second I went to the actual camp, they're immediately on me and very
Yeah.
mad. And so I, went through the entire camp, killed them, killed the priestess, killed the guy who was talking to the dead mind flayer, and obviously the third leader was already dead. But yeah, the BDSM guy wasn't there.
There
I
you
don't know.
go.
I guess I might find him later on. Who knows?
Now, Nathan.
Yeah, I deceived my
Yeah.
way in.
Yeah, Nathan,
Went
you
through,
did
and I
very
had
good.
intention of killing the goblins at first. I was like, why not?
You
Yeah.
checked.
Fuck them up.
Yeah.
And so I killed one of the leaders. And then I keep walking through the place, and I was like, holy shit, these guys have got a mad army. I think I might want to side with them. So I get to Minthara at the end. I'm like, yeah, I'm joining you. Let's fuck it. They're at the Grove. Let's go. Already killed one of their leaders, but they don't seem to care. They don't know that I killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
So
I did it completely in stealth. Like I
So
fucked them up.
Did you go to the druid in the back?
Nah.
Oh, you didn't even bother with it.
At that point, I was like, I know what I'm doing. Let's leave. Let's get out.
So you fought through the grove. How is the fight with the grove? 'Cause I know
Well,
you
yeah,
were-
so I went to the Grove, and that's where Jamie and my stories differed. So I went to the
Yes.
Grove, talked to them again, and I was like, and they're like, oh, thank you for coming back to protect us. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm here to kill you. And so basically on the wall, the guy's like, what? How could you? And then the spiders come in and just fucked everyone up.
yeah. So I just love. It's like, sorry guys, no, I'm actually here to kill you.
So you were on the Grove side when you went to.
Well, yeah, they still thought I was, because I told the Grove I was going to help them. I told them I was going to do something to help them. And then when I went to Minthara, I saw the army, and I was like, yeah, this is lit. I want to join them. And then so went back to the Grove, and the guy's like, thanks for coming back to help. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm killing you. And he's like, what?
It's so funny. I wonder if you can actually go with the goblins to the front of the Grove
you can.
as well.
Yeah, you can.
do
You
that.
can. I just, because they were friendly with me, I decided to get the
It makes
jump on
sense.
them, because
Yeah,
I got
you do get an advantage.
I got
Yeah.
surprise stealth kills because they weren't expecting it.
So what happens afterwards? What happens after you kill the grove? Actually, I wanted to ask you this, but I waited. So what happens after you kill the
The
grove?
goblins hang around in the Grove for a little, and then
Yep.
they go back to camp. But yeah, nothing happens. Yeah, it's just everyone's gone.
Yeah, everyone's gone. It's chill after that.
Yeah.
Everyone's chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now your story is completely different from ours. We're not going to talk about Act 2 stuff, but now, like, your story is you said some wild shit last night.
Yeah, shit kind of went wild. I don't know, man.
Yeah, there was some wild shit going
Yeah.
on last night compared to what Jamie and I were doing. So, yeah, no, it's
Yeah, but
like,
even our stories have diverged. Like,
it has.
I
It
mean,
has.
even with like the fact that you slaughtered the entire goblin camp,
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that
Yes.
um,
yeah, no.
until I had to. Until I did have to. You
Until
know,
I had
eventually, I did have to kill them, but I didn't. I killed them at a different time. But even just like some of the, like the fact that Nathan never found Karlak, so that character,
Oh, true.
I don't know what happens to her. I guess Will goes and kills Karlak.
Yeah, I guess.
'Cause Nathan didn't
you
find
never talked to
Will either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never got Will.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing what.
Yeah, because the idea is, so when in the Grove, there's this character called Will, who he's the one when you go to the Grove the first time, he's the one that helps you, the
Yeah.
black dude with the
With the
sword.
sword.
You talk to him in the camp, and he explains he's like,
Oh, No, he died.
Died.
Yeah.
What?
In the Grove fight
Yeah, he
at the
died in the
beginning.
battle.
Oh.
I was being a pussy bitch, and I was like, "Fuck you guys, you can fight it for me."
Oh my god.
So they all died, and then I just finished them off once they were all
That's
dead.
so funny. And so
Yeah.
because of that, Will doesn't have his quest line, which
Yeah.
means you don't find out about Karlach.
Mm.
And then like,
Interesting.
dude, Will, this character has a deal with a devil in the hells. And if you betray, so Will has to kill. So the idea is Will has to kill Karlach because Karlach is like a fugitive. She left
Basically,
the
she-
blood.
The
War.
the devil Raphael, that guy.
No,
No,
different
no.
devil.
Different
Devil. Well, she's a demon, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so basically she's a demon. She is enslaved by Zariel, who is like basically the leader of the devils.
Which is who you've spoken to.
Yes.
And so because I didn't kill Karlach, because I was like immediately I was like Karlach is so fucking endearing and so cool. Like I have to have her in my camp. I just know when I'm killing her because she's just like she's got this really like rough, like outside shell, but inside she's just
Yeah.
like I'm just chill. You know, she
Yeah,
sounds
she's
like
really
Tracer
cool.
from fucking Overwatch.
Yeah.
like a little bit like that, where she's just super chill. And now I want to fuck her. So I was like, I'm not. No. My character wants to fuck her. Let's just
Yeah. Okay.
let's just
No, I wanna fuck her.
get that straight. My character wants to fuck her. So I was like, I'm not killing her. And luckily, Will wasn't in my party when I found her. But then when I went back to camp, and Will was like,
The hell is this?
"Fuck, what are you doing here?"
yeah.
And luckily, like Karlach was like, "Oh, I'm not actually who you think I am. Like I was
Yeah.
actually also enslaved, so we can sort of settle." Like she's totally down to settle their differences immediately. But because I didn't kill Karlach, Will's like the demon that's enslaving him
The succubus, yeah.
comes to camp, the succubus, and makes him a devil with
Yes.
horns.
Yep.
And so from that point onwards, he's now been a demon basically with horns.
Same for me.
Oh.
Which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
and like there's totally like proper dialogue options around that now, and like if you kill Karlach, you would just never get that.
Nope.
You might not even find out that Will is enslaved to
Yeah,
a
exactly.
succubus
You might never figure that out.
because you just keep doing what I guess at some point she would show up.
Yeah, because she does show up.
I have gotten another assignment from her at this point.
Yeah, we got
But
another.
we won't go
assignment
too
for her.
about that's Act 2 stuff, so I don't want to get too far into it.
Yeah.
So at that point, you'd be like, "Oh fuck, that's why he's doing these things."
Yeah.
Because it seems very weird. Because Will doesn't seem like the kind of person who's like a mercenary for hire kind of you know.
No.
He doesn't strike me as like the he doesn't seem like he kills just for the hell. of
No,
it.
because all he wanted to do was to save people and hunt demons. That's literally
Exactly.
it. That's all. That's all. He
And
wanted.
even then, the hunting demons part, that's not even what he necessarily wants to do. He's just
exactly.
enslaved to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's just really cool like
Little like, moments
complexities
like
with
that.
these characters.
Yeah.
Like and I'm really surprised how quickly they are like so fleshed out. And I understand like their differences and then and because in a lot of games with like when you make choices and they're like someone will remember that or they disapprove, it's like, well, you haven't given me that reasoning to feel like you would have that response to certain things.
Yeah.
The characters in Baldur's Gate 3 are very much not like that, where it makes sense when it says they disapprove or they approve. Like when I do a good thing and Asterion disapproves, I'm like, well, he just wants to get the thing out of his head.
Yeah.
He also wants to find out more about his vampire master. Like it makes sense why he's out for himself, but he also just wants to fix his shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even Shadowheart, when I was early on doing good stuff, Shadowheart would be like, "Why are you doing this?" Like,
Which
we need to,
is
we
actually
need
really
to...
cool. Shadowheart has probably one of the more complex stories because Shadowheart for me was the same. She started off like not liking what I was doing, but then after I was talking to her and after I started like dating her and stuff like that, she grew to kind of the same mentality I did. So now anytime I
And
do,
she's
like,
at that
kind of
point
good
with
stuff-
me now as well.
Yeah, which is really cool. I like how I
Where
can
she feels a
change
little
like
more
that.
like she's actually approving of stuff that she would never have approved of. In the
Yeah,
beginning.
which is really cool because like the characters are not static. It's not like this is their morals. It
No,
changes
yeah.
and whatnot, which is that's awesome. I love that. It's really cool. It's really really cool.
I like how the characters are dynamic and they're not, and dynamic not even just in the terms of like each person, like like in Mass Effect, like characters have a journey, but in Baldur's Gate 3, characters have multiple journeys depending on how you're playing the game. You know,
Yeah.
because like if you're a bitch to Shadowheart, she's probably constantly going to disapprove of everything you say if she's in your
Yes.
party.
Yes.
But if you kind of reason with her and get to know her a little bit, and in the Underdark, I found an idol of
Char.
what is it? Shah.
Char.
Um, and I was like, and it gave me the option to gift it to her, and she was like, "Oh, I've like never gotten a gift from someone before. Do you want anything in return?" And
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
see. I
"No,
didn't do that.
it's a
Interesting.
gift." And she's like, "Oh, thanks. That's really sweet." And she's like never said that word, but she's never said sweet before ever. Like it just seems like
Yeah.
it's not in her vocabulary at all.
Yeah.
But because I'm like reasoning with her and like helping her out, and she's just like she's now chill with me when she wasn't at
Mm.
the beginning, and I really really like how that dynamics shifted, and all the
Yeah.
characters. Like there's, I guess I've got 6 companions now, maybe 7.
I have a bunch. I don't know how many I have.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
have a
I know
lot.
there's probably some more companions that I haven't gotten yet, but
Yeah.
so far in the Act One companions, like all of them have their own relationships with my main character and
Mhm.
relationship with each other. That wouldn't happen depending if you don't have those companions. Like
Yeah.
there's so many, yeah, as you said, there's so much detail and so much. Like I can't even imagine the story web of this game.
Yeah. All like the interconnecting pieces that plays into it.
Like,
Uh,
I think they said it's like 2 million words. This
yeah. It was
script
like
for the
something like that.
game.
2 million lines spoken or something like that. It was like something insane.
And also the fact that like every line is so well voice acted
It is.
and so
The
well
voice acting is
performed.
so
Like,
good. I was gonna say that. The voice acting
and
is
even
so
like,
good.
because a lot of RPGs, when they do like the character looking at other character talking, it looks really static. But
Yeah.
this game does a really good job of like, there's a little bit of movement
Yeah. A little bit of sway and when they talk and
in the
whatnot.
dialogue that I really
Yeah.
appreciate, because it's like, and talking about Starfield, like it's gonna look much worse in Starfield in terms of like when
Mm.
you're talking to a character and you're just like they're blankly staring at you. But that's just Bethesda RPGs, so
Uh, uh, the other thing I was gonna say is one, the music's also really good. I was gonna say
music
I
is
really
really
like the
good.
music. Music's really good. But the other thing is, have you guys seen what happens when you don't move for a while? Your character starts doing like little emotes and whatnot.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't
Car
seen
like
that. No,
starts
I haven't seen
dancing.
the. Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't stopped moving.
Yeah, like Car like starts dancing. You
Hold on.
see
I'll be
that
back in a
like
sec.
all good. Gale starts like playing with magic and whatnot. Like
There you
these all
go.
do their own
That's
individual
funny.
things. It's really cool. I really want to hear what Nathan's companions are like. If they're like psychopaths like him, like I really want to hear what Nathan's
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
But yeah, no, this game is it's just good, man. I'll ask you, Jamie. Do you think this has a chance to win Game of the Year? Do you think this could
Yes.
overtake? You do? Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's at the very least getting nominated.
Oh yeah. It's all. I
I
feel like
think
it's
it.
100% getting nominated, but like
I
I
mean, it
think it's
wasn't always a sure bet. Like I knew it was going to be a good game, but I think it was. I think it's the fact that everyone is playing this game now,
yeah.
and by virtue of everyone playing it, it means that like I guess with like with gaming outlets like IGN and GameSpot,
Mhm.
like even though they everyone there loves games, their websites are very much based on metrics, and
Yes.
so if a game is really good but not enough people are playing it, they're not going to push people to play it in the company. You know what I mean? Or they're not going to
Hmm.
play it themselves because they're playing what's popular, so that when they talk about it on a podcast or whatever, people are listening.
Yeah.
But the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is so popular right now means that
Mm.
everyone's like, "Oh, I got to try this out." Everyone's saying it's fantastic. I have to play it.
Yeah.
And people are watching podcasts about Baldur's Gate 3, and they're reading articles and reading
Hmm.
guides on how to do certain things. I
Well,
think
like
enough people in the games industry are going to play this game that it will get nominated for Game of the Year.
yeah. Well, like man,
Because it
10
hasn't always been the
million.
case. Like there's been games like I mean Nier Automata was not nominated for Game of the Year in
Yeah, which is
2017.
like now
And
it's
that's
seeing
a
like
game that's like has kind of grown in popularity as time has gone on,
it
but in
has.
2017 it just not enough people played it, so it just didn't get enough
Yeah.
votes to get nominated.
Yeah.
And that
The
always happens. Like there's always games that I think Outer Wilds didn't get
Outer
nominated for
Wilds
Game of
didn't
the
do that
Year.
well as well.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing is like especially with indie games, like some games just fall through the cracks with a lot of people,
Hmm.
and because the industry is so focused on the big AAA stuff, that's like a lot of games journalists just go from AAA game to AAA game.
Yeah.
Um, like even now, I would imagine a lot of journalists are stopping Baldur's Gate 3 to play Starfield because code's
Yeah.
probably coming soon.
Hmm.
Before reviews drop in like less than a month, like
Yeah.
20 or so days.
It's like
Um,
Nah, it's
But
the
I
thing.
think, as I said, I think enough people are playing it and it's popular enough that
Yeah.
you'll see enough people vote for it for Game of the Year.
Well, like, there's how many 10 million minutes played or something like that? Let me find it again.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, the more interesting stat is that even just in early access, there were 2.5 million copies sold,
Yeah. Here we
and
go.
that
Yeah,
was,
10.
and I think a lot of people have bought it since then,
Yeah.
like after it released.
Like they brought out statistics today, and one that I thought was really interesting is in the past week, 10 million hours played, or 1,225 years.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It also in there was a stat keeping company that I guess they report on statistics for Steam. On that weekend that Baldur's Gate 3 came out in the US, 28% of playtime on Steam was Baldur's Gate 3,
Holy shit.
Pretty significant.
which is
that's
nuts.
more than a quarter.
For reference, CS:GO was 5% that weekend.
Oh, that's insane.
And I think CS:GO was the number 2 game.
For a $90 game, that's
that's pretty crazy.
Nuts.
The,
It is-
the
that
thing
is
is as well
crazy.
is that this is also in like a month or two getting released on consoles. So it's probably
September
after
6th
all
on
the
PlayStation
hype,
5. Yeah.
after all this hype, it's going to like also
It's actually the number one.
skyrocket.
It's the number one pre-order game on PlayStation in the US at the moment.
That's
So
insane. That's insane.
it's also going to sell a shit ton. I'm actually curious to see how console players take to it.
yeah.
Just because, I mean, one of the things we haven't mentioned is that the control format is like, it's fine. And initially I was like impressed by the fact that I could just move the camera around with the stick
Yeah.
and actually
Why I'm
and I
still
actually,
playing it. Yeah.
I do like that functionality of like exploration. I don't like it in combat, and I don't like it when I've got to pick stuff up. I definitely prefer. So I've moved fully to mouse and keyboard now.
Yeah.
I'm not using controller at all, just because I don't like the radial dials that much. Like I got used to them, but it wasn't the best way to go about things.
No, not at all. I memorize where everything is, but
Yeah, and I got to a certain point where I was like doing that as well, but I think even now that since I got to level 5, I haven't really used it, and I can't imagine like how many, because you get more spells and it's like even more
I think I've
radial
got
dials.
about 8 for my
Yeah,
character.
exactly.
Yeah.
I only ever got to like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a bit much. It's a bit much to manage, but I think I'm curious how console players are gonna enjoy it just from that
I mean,
perspective.
I really like it simply just because with a controller, it feels like a normal RPG, like a
Feels a little more natural.
third-person action. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and that's the reason I played it, because I initially wasn't going to play it simply because it didn't feel like a game that I wanted to play, but
Sure.
because of that, it is something that I am playing.
I was gonna ask you, Nathan. We talked about companions before, and about companions with us, how they kind of fit to our playstyle. Since you've gone like full psychopath, have they fit your playstyle as well? Are they also kind of following that line of like thinking, or are they?
Asterion and Shadowheart seem to like everything I do.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that
No,
works out because they're
Gale's middling. He doesn't really.
that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, because Gale leans more on the good side.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so I
Gale's
can
more of a
imagine
goody.
like when you fucking slaughter a bunch of people, he's like,
Yeah.
why am I
What
with
What
this
the fuck are
guy?
you doing? Yeah.
Can actually, Sito, do you know companions can leave your camp? Be like, I'm fucking done with this shit.
Really?
I'm out. No, I was wondering if they can. Do you know if they can?
Let me look that up. I don't know.
I've got a
Um,
couple of other issues with the game just from a normie point of view, but
Let's hear
Go
it.
ahead.
I've told you guys about it before,
Sure.
so you already know what I'm going to say. But
Yeah.
I think the gameplay is very, very slow in some. It's slow normally, and I think it's fine the majority of the time. But it can lead to situations where you get in a battle with like 20 people, and I'm legitimately not touching my controls for 2 minutes at a time, waiting for the NPCs to take their
Sure.
turns.
I have
And it
also
ends
noticed.
up in this like 1 hour battle that I don't even win, and it's just
Have
fucking
you guys
crazy.
had it in combat where sometimes it'll be on an NPC to do something and they'll not
Yeah,
do
it
something
just
for a
freezes.
while?
Just
Yeah.
hover.
And I'm just
I-
like,
what
am
I
I
do-
just can you do something? Fucking let's go.
What I do is, at the top, it will show like who's up next in like the turn order, right? I will click around, and it seems to speed it up. What they do, right? If you just click to the next one.
Yeah, I do wish there was just a skip button. Well, not a skip, but like a speed up button. Because
Yeah, to speed up
there's a lot
their
of turn-based games that I've played where that exists. When an NPC is taking a turn, you just click like speed up, and it
Yeah, I
just
wonder
quickly
if
does
they
their turn.
I wonder why they don't have that.
Yeah, I understand why they wouldn't, but I do
Yeah.
wish it was there.
I know
Yeah,
there is the
I can
reaction system, but I guess if you're speeding it up, you could just stop
Yeah,
it.
it just
and let
happens.
The reaction happens.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you can choose to have
you
the
can choose to
reactions.
not. Yeah.
You can have that. You can choose for the reactions to pop up on the screen as opposed to just doing them.
yeah, but just
Yeah.
slowed down when that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You just
no,
start because it
I
comes
can
up with a
understand
menu.
that.
So
I can understand that. Like, I've seen that complaint a little bit. I'm personally okay with it, but I can definitely see why people are annoyed with it. I can
there's
definitely
been a
see
few
it
instances
is
where it
slow.
has been a
Mainly just
lot.
because I don't want to play a fuck ton of time in this game.
Yeah.
I have noticed like, especially when I get my party gets surprised, it's especially annoying because it
Yes.
takes like 1 to 2 turns, and if there's a lot of enemies, it's like it does take a while
Hmm.
for it to get
You're just
into
on
it.
your
To do
phone. You're
anything.
waiting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting pelted by shit. I'm like, oh man, I just show me, just skip to me after the pelting. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
And that does
But it
come
has
to my
some.
other negative point. If you do want to just play the game for the main story, you're not going to be able to. It's not
Yeah.
possible. Straight
I mean,
up.
that's just not an. That's just. I mean, it's just RPG. Like I don't think there's many
No,
RPGs
there's
out there where you mainline it.
yeah. I'm
It's
not mainlining this. I'm doing like quite a lot of side content. I have
it's
the Act
very
Two has been quite story based for me, but I mean Act One, I spent well, a lot of time doing non-story stuff, and I was still nowhere near ready.
yeah.
I think, and I'm totally fine doing side stuff in order to level up. I just think that this game relies too heavily on doing way too much, and that's in the current way. There is no other way of doing it, but I think that just means that for people to not have to spend 100 hours playing the game, there would need to be some sort of like dynamic balancing system for the main story, so you don't like actually have to spend 10 hours in Act One just trying to get ready for this one battle.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
think at the
the
end of the day, that's just not the game that they made. Like I just think
yeah,
that's just what
same.
they
Like Divinity
like a
Original
lot of
Sin.
CRPGs, that's just the style of the game. Like Baldur's Gate 1 and
Yeah.
2 were the same. Dragon Age Origins was this. I think it's just that's almost the DNA of that genre of RPG.
Mm.
And even JRPGs as well, to do the side stuff, to grind, to level up. It's a little less in other games. Like I think BioWare's sort of moved away from that, but a lot of that old school RPG style and even tabletop RPGs, that's just how they're made, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I modded it anyway, so I'm leveling up at the rate that I should be.
Yeah.
If I were doing side stuff.
Yeah, no, that is yeah. I was gonna say the same thing that like with Divinity Original Sin and whatnot, it is that's just the type of game this is. You know what I mean? Like you gotta kind of deal with that way. I can understand why if you just want to do the main story, it could
Yeah,
be it,
and
but
if you
that's just
don't want
the
to
type
play
of game.
100 hours, I can understand
I
that.
could yeah, it's a lot of time.
I'll have finished this story by the 40-hour mark. I can guarantee you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I am yeah, no. It is definitely a very much of a you're going into the world and you're gonna explore
I just
it.
want
So,
to
but I
sink
get,
into it, you know. Like
yeah,
I'm not trying to, because like, I mean, a 50-hour RPG is fine. I appreciate those as well, but I do like the idea of like really getting into the nitty gritty of
yeah,
a game
really
like
delving
this
into it.
and seeing like every inch of it in the
I
But
same
would
way
you
wouldn't
that.
like
mind so much if there weren't like 4 games coming out in the next month that I really want to
that?
play.
Well,
That's the
that's
biggest
fair.
issue.
That's
Yeah.
also
I can
fair. I
understand
bet
that.
my idea is like when those games come out, I'm just gonna take a break from Baldur's Gate for a little
Yeah,
bit
like
and
I
then come back
have.
to
I
it.
know I'll never come back if I do that, so I just want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
I have like next week On Guard is coming out, and I do want to play that, and then
Oh yeah.
Armored Core, and then Starfield as well. So I'm trying to finish this in a decent amount of time. So I'm putting I like Shadow's done like 70. I've done like 50 hours. Shadow's done like 70. Um,
Shadow is gonna end up losing
it's
a
a full
leg.
time job.
Like,
It's a full time job for Shadow right now. He's
it's more than a
really
full-time
enjoying
job.
the game. Yeah, he's
He's
really
nearly
enjoying
worked
the
double
game.
a full-time job this week.
Yeah, he's really enjoying
Um,
the game.
I think this is the good thing about Baldur's Gate 3 for me at least is that I feel like if I take a break from it when I come back, I won't feel like I'm totally lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have been
Exactly.
in the case of like if you know I'm not the biggest turn-based RPG fan.
Mhm.
I did play Dragon Age Origins, but that was more of like a pause and play sort of dynamic. It didn't. It's not properly turn-based in that same way.
Yep.
And so I'll just turn down the difficulty if it gets too hard. I'll just turn it.
Yeah. You
Like
can also
I've been
reset.
modulating it because like some fights I'm just like this is if it gets to a point where it's unfun,
Mhm.
and I don't want to like go back a save and redo my party and go through like another 2 hours of prep to. I'll just turn down the difficulty. Like
Yeah.
I think
One.
am in it more for the story and the characters and the dialogue, and
Yeah.
so in a similar way to Nathan, I do want to get through the combat quicker.
Yeah, I'm on the
But
minimum difficulty as well.
But I
just,
have
like,
found that
sent
when
it.
I turn down the difficulty to the story mode difficulty, I kind of rinse everyone. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's
wish
not a
there
good
was
in between
I wish there was
right
a
now.
middle ground because
Yeah.
it's either on balanced. It's like it's. I find some of it pretty tough, but then on the story mode, do it first try and have no issue, like don't die at all.
Mm.
And then
None of
every
my
now and again, I'll come across a battle that is just so ridiculously hard. It's not funny.
Yeah, I wonder if well, I guess you are leveling up at a faster rate now. I
Yeah,
was gonna say because
I'm
if
level
you don't,
7 now.
but I do think a benefit of the side content is you do find more powerful
I was gonna say, I think the one
weapons.
thing that is like one thing is that like there's magic items which help you out immensely. Like I have found so many magic items that have basically just completely changed how I play, and it
Well, yeah,
helps
because
you so much.
some magic items give you abilities or give you
Yeah,
different
right.
buffs and to certain stuff, and I think that is maybe why it's more difficult from your perspective, Nathan, is because you don't have as many of those tools
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm definitely
because
finding
you
less
don't have those
stuff.
side.
I do have
You
some
didn't
very
get,
good stuff, but it's not.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, there's stuff that like even in the Underdark, which you haven't explored yet, I
I probably
found
never
some
will.
and probably never will. Well, I think you, no, you probably won't have to. I think it's all side stuff.
Don't think so.
Um,
Underdark, there's only one oh no. No, literally all side stuff.
I've
Straight
gone
up.
past it.
well, you can go back. I
Yeah,
think
I won't.
you do loop around at some point
Yeah.
because the Temple of Shah's down there. I'm pretty sure.
No, it is
Um,
not.
it's not
No,
the ancient temple.
no.
There's a different ancient temple. Um, yeah. So I think that's also adds to it as well. Is that there's just
Yeah,
not you don't have
100%.
as many items.
Oh,
Just
I
because you're
know
not
the
doing the side stuff.
majority of the problems I have with the game are based off of that one issue that I have with it. It's like a cascading thing that creates more issues
Yeah.
with the game for me, and
Sure.
I'm definitely aware of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just adds frustration.
Yeah, I
Sure.
get that. But yeah, no, this game like I'm
I just
genuinely
wanted to dive in. Like I want to. I'm
I want to keep
exhausting every
playing.
dialogue option because it just reminds me of like playing Dragon Age and Mass Effect again,
Mhm.
where that's exactly
Yeah.
what I did back in the mid 2000s.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I'm right
so
now
yeah, that's it's as that meme was where it's like the Ratatouille thing, where it's the
yeah.
kid eating Dragon Age, or it's the
It's
adult
the older guy
eating
eating
Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3,
Gate.
and then it's the kid eating food that's like a Dragon Age
Dragon Age
Origins.
Origins.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me, and like I really do hope BioWare goes back to this kind of game.
Yeah.
Because I want more of this.
Mhm.
But maybe they're not even capable of doing it anymore. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see.
You had some questions here though, so
So yeah, I did have a bunch of questions. We already answered a couple of them.
Yeah, I think
I
we
do
went through
have
most.
I do have let me
I can
just-
answer. I can answer the. Do you think this game
yeah,
could make
yeah.
you play
So
D and
so that
D?
D&D one, I already know the answer to that one. But the
Yeah.
reason why
No.
I asked that one is, do you think like because I know you guys are gonna say no because I know you guys are not gonna play D&D. But I was gonna say, do you think this game is so similar to D&D that this would get other people into D&D? Do you? Think
I'm not even sure if it is similar to D and D, or if it's
It is.
just
It is very similar.
or if it's just an RPG with the rule set of D and D.
Like if you go from this
Because
to
I think so much of
D&D
D and D, at least from an outside perspective, is the improvisation.
true.
And there isn't really like Baldur's Gate 3 is there is
Lots
a
of
lot of
choices,
freedom,
but yeah,
but
it's
there is
not-
still
yeah.
there are still static choices that you're making
Yeah.
outside of sometimes say you're talking to a character and you switch to another character and you just push them off a ledge. You can do
yeah.
that. So there is
This-
a bit of improvisation from that perspective, but you could also take that path anyway by fighting them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, true.
I think all paths lead to a certain
Outcome.
point.
yeah.
And so you're sort of doing like we're diverging a decent amount, but we're still following the same quest line. Some of the objectives are the
Yes.
same. We're just molding it differently, I think.
Mhm.
And I think D&D there's a little bit more improvisation naturally because you're not
It's
programming a
tabletop.
game. It's just like
Yeah.
it's tabletop.
This
it's
is-
paper. So
This is very similar to doing like a preset module in D&D. This book
Mhm.
feels like where everything is already laid out. It's very similar to how it does it.
Sure.
I personally could see a lot of people going, well, not a lot, but like a good amount of people going from Baldur's Gate to being like, oh, I'm gonna try out D&D now because it is based off of it.
There
But
is a board game that is very, very, very similar to this. It's like D&D, but
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder?
no, that's all right. I'll find it in a minute.
Yeah, fine.
But-
yeah, so I think
It's exactly like this game. It's
Yeah.
like you get a book and you go through the book and like you enter battles on a little board and it's like it's
Sure.
literally this game, but it's just like on a board instead.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it's the visual aspect. And I like in D&D when you go to camp. Like I guess you're asking each other questions, but you're not building relationships in the same way.
Yeah, no, you're not.
And I like that party mentality where like the Dragon Age party or the Mass Effect crew, where you're building up these relationships and you're going on companion quests.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of that aspect that I like more so than the fact that it's using the D&D rule set.
Yes.
You know, I don't think
No,
I don't
I
think
agree
because
with that.
I don't think because it's using because it has a dice roll and because it's got spells from D&D 5e. That's not why I'm enjoying it so much
Yeah, no, true.
necessarily.
True. I can see that. I can see that.
Because I think obviously it's using the foundation of D&D, but I don't think it necessarily like
Oh, it is different.
is
It is
because like
different.
Pathfinder. There's a Pathfinder. Well, there's another game that uses. Maybe there is a Pathfinder video game. That's the same kind of deal where
I
it's
can
like
100%, yeah.
where it's the rule set applied to a video game RPG.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, that's understandable. Cool. Well, very good. Well, I think we're all enjoying it. At least Nathan.
Definitely enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think this might end up being my game of the year.
Ooh.
I know that's crazy.
It's
It's a toss up, right? Because like for me, Tears of the Kingdom excels in gameplay, but didn't excel in story for me.
yeah.
And then Baldur's Gate 3 excels in story, but doesn't necessarily excel in gameplay for me.
Yeah. I could
But
see
even
that.
then, like I'm still enjoying the gameplay. Like I still enjoy when I rinse an enemy, a group of enemies, like an encounter. Like when I do crazy stuff, or like throw a javelin, or push someone off a ledge, like stuff like that. Little things that that the game doesn't necessarily tell you to do, but you have the freedom of choice in combat as you do in dialogue and in exploration. I appreciate that synergy between those three kind of planes of gameplay.
Yeah.
It's called Gloomhaven.
Oh,
Gloomhaven.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
exactly what this game is.
Yep.
See, it's ironic because I think since
No,
I
it's the
come
RPG.
from since I come from like tabletop D&D,
Because there is a Gloomhaven game, isn't there?
There is. It's literally
Yeah.
a board game though.
Yeah.
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 I think since I come from tabletop D&D, seeing the combat in D&D actually have come to visualization with how the spells look and stuff like that, I really enjoy the combat in this game. I think because I can see the visualization of the stuff that I've been visualizing for the past like 5 years. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So I could see how they made a fireball look, or they had to make magic missile or counterspell and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
stuff like that is really cool, and it's really fun to actually play these things I've been imagining in an actual physical kind of sense. You know what
Sure.
I mean? And I was talking to the group I play with, and I was saying like what this game Baldur's Gate has done is it's taken the spells I already knew were really strong, right? Like Fireball, Sleep, for all that, for example, and seeing it actually physically happen and actually physically being able to use it, you see really how strong these spells actually are in this sense.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which is yeah, that's why I enjoy the combat so much. So yeah, I think it's really good. Cool. Okay. Well, do we want? Is there, no one's playing any of the games. We all been playing Baldur's Gate.
Just Baldur's Gate.
Does
I
Baldur's
haven't
Gate?
played
Yeah.
anything else this week.
Cool. Okay. So we want to move to building to 100.
Let's do it.
Cool.
This
Alright.
will-
Look. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
What is your
I
game, Jamie?
am going to select Knights of the Old Republic, which is a fantastic game. Got me in the mindset of thinking about Knights of the Old Republic, thinking about KOTOR because of playing Baldur's Gate and old BioWare RPGs.
Makes sense.
I'm going to put this at number 23. I think this
Ooh,
game's
pretty high up
fantastic.
there.
It's
Yeah.
really, it's like one of the best RPGs of all time.
There you
And
go.
it's very sad that we don't have another one anytime soon.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's my pick.
I'll go next. I wanted to put one of these games because I love this genre, and I actually do generally think this is a good
great,
game.
here we go.
I'm gonna put I'm putting Satisfactory on the list.
Ugh.
I do generally think that this is probably one of
Top
the amount of hours you
100
can sink
ga-
into these
okay.
games
I
is
mean,
insane. I'm not putting it that high on the list. I am putting it at number where is that game we're placing it for? Oh yeah, 58. Right there.
What's it above?
I made sure to put it up anything.
Oh, it's above Titanfall 2. Oh my god.
Oh wait, no, sorry, no, sorry. Wait, did I say no? Put it. I wanted to be below Titanfall 2. I wanted to be
Okay,
59.
that's-
yeah, 59. Sorry,
That's
there you
fine.
go. Yeah,
Oh, I was
that's
like,
where I
oh
wanted.
my god.
I did
my
not want to put it
heart.
above Titanfall 2. That was my cutoff point.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, no. I played all these games. I want to put one of these games on the list because I put too many hours.
Sure. I'm surprised you didn't put the other one.
That's exactly where my game is also going, but mine's going above
Factorio.
yours.
Oh, let's see it. What game?
Beat Saber.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
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 We finally have another VR game on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally
thought it
have
was
another
about
VR
time.
game.
Well, yeah. No, that's a good pick. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
good
that.
pick, good pick, good pick.
Yeah, I thought I
That's what I
like it.
would've
I don't
thought
think
of.
it deserves to be too high because it's pretty damn simple and it's not
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great game,
But
yeah,
it
It
is
is
very
great.
fun. It is very fun. Yeah.
One of the most successful.
it's one of the
VR
games.
It's one of the
One of the
games
games
of
of
all
all
time.
One of the games.
One of the games of all time. Well, that was quick. That was easy. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just put that down. Alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna play some more Baldur's Gate now. So thank you all very much for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. We'll be back next week and we'll have more talk about Baldur's Gate, but we have some other games to talk
Probably.
about. Hopefully,
Well, you are on guard.
I will have On Guard to talk about. I will be able to talk about that.
What do you
which
think
would
that
be
game's
nice.
gonna review?
That's a very good question. Oh, look.
Where do you think it's gonna land? Just give it a ballpark. Like, what do you think? What are you expecting?
I am expecting high 70s to low 80s. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think he's gonna do
High
amazing.
70s. I could see high 70s.
Here's the thing. I don't even think he's gonna get reviewed that much.
I was gonna say like how many people? I mean, is there gonna be review copies? Is there like I'm curious.
I don't think he's gonna be reviewed that much, to be honest. I really don't think. I put it on, like my fantasy critic is games that I'm really excited for, so I put on my
Dude,
list.
Baldur's Gate 3 is popping the fuck
It
off.
has a 97, right?
It's at it's at 96.3 technically, like
Holy
because they
shit.
I
Round
got
up.
it's actually it's above Tears of the Kingdom on OpenCritic now.
Jesus.
32.7 points.
That's insane.
I'm really shocked you didn't pick. I'm really shocked you didn't grab Baldur's Gate 3.
The reason I did was I forgot it came out this year. I thought it was coming out next year. I was, but I forgot it came out this year.
It's funny. So there's a lot of other fantasy critics that can't get this game, Baldur's Gate 3, because a lot of them don't allow currently in early access games.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Interesting.
And I can understand that. But
Yeah,
I'm glad we allowed it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, thank you all very much for listening. We'll be back next week for the next episode of the Center for Sound podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.